Hello everyone, and welcome back to Smogon Game Day. This is Gold Mason. I'm joined by Finchinator, Ruft, and eeriespell. We are going to be commentating for the Fakee Cup. Unfortunately, Fakee, a community member, recently passed away. We're all very sad and want to celebrate his life by playing some SSOU. How you guys doing today?
Doing thankfully well. Of course, we'd rather be here under more pleasant and positive circumstances, but nevertheless, it's Finchinator here and just happy to contribute to a good cause.
Yeah, always tragic to see someone who gave so much to the community pass away like that, but hopefully we can do right by him and see some good games.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Gen 8 OU metagame as well, just like him. So I am excited to see some good games today, hopefully. And it's especially nice because it's for a good cause, of course.
Yep. And it looks like the first round just went up, so we're going to see basically a single elimination Sword and Shield overused tournament. The first majority of the rounds are going to be best of one. I believe at the end it's going to become best of three as well. And just sorry to kind of hostile takeover here, but we're going to be raising money for Doctors Without Borders. So if you guys are following the stream, there is a donate to charity button, I believe, in the bottom right of the screen. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong.
I believe so.
Yeah, no, I'm looking right now at Twitch. So it says donate. So, we'd love to raise some money for Doctors Without Borders for Fakee, to honor his country of Venezuela. And we're going to be getting the games any moment now.
Yep, even if you can only donate like $5, that's already means a whole lot. Because if everyone donates $5, that makes up for a big amount in the end.
Absolutely. So we should be getting going with games any moment, I believe.
Here we go.
Yep,
Let's hop into Mada versus Mr. McLeven, maybe?
Sure.
All right.
So yeah, these are two pretty experienced tournament players. I don't know if you guys want to take a deep dive in the team preview. These are pretty known structures based on my experience in SSOU.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a very interestingly standard stuff. I'm gonna
The
do
Volcrona's probably
because I
the most
forget if
interesting
Cartana
thing.
gets Grassy Glide or not.
It does not.
Okay.
It does not know.
Yeah.
Cortana could be decent if it can get past the Zapdos and Melmetal, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could knock off the Zapdos without, if you're not protected pads without getting static, then with Stealth Rocks and Grassy Train, you could potentially be a big threat with Leaf Blade, despite the resist, because you get the stab boost and train boost. Alternatively, Volcarona probably functions as a win condition depending on your set. If it's Giga Drain, of course, it could beat the water types. Otherwise, it might need some help getting there.
Weavile versus Rillaboom lead. So we'll probably see a switch from Rillaboom, unless he makes a very ballsy play.
We could see both switch. You might respect the Choice Band Grassy Glide, which has a good chance to KO. But you also, even if Rillaboom's Choice Band, it doesn't want to Grassy Glide into Zapdos. And on top of that, if you're not banded, you don't want to be killed by Triple Axle. So yeah, both are going to conservatively switch out here.
And then an immediate Volt with Zapdos going back into Slowking. Gets rocks up for Mr. McLeven.
Yep. Pretty standard stuff so far. No one's taking, game-breaking risks. Perhaps the first little bit of progress, seeing on turns 2 and 3 with, as you said, the Stealth Rocks, and then we're exchanging 50% Scald for Toxic, so incremental progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you also see this, like the idea behind Mr. McLeven's team, because the Grassy Train is really healing up the Heatran back.
Does reveal boots on the Weavile.
Yep. Yeah, so that makes sense. And even if you don't get a kill here, which you're probably not going to, McLeven is a bit reliant on Flame Body for Weavile. And of course, the odds of getting Flame Body, the more you hit into things, it goes up exponentially, right? But at the same time, this is a pretty free knockoff for Swords Dance here. We do see the ladder, but it takes a ton of damage from that
A
flamethrower.
lot, yeah.
It could be
Probably-
Colberberry.
Very bold stay-in to hit with the flamethrower there, but like you
Yeah,
said,
he has no
his
dark
plan's
resist,
already
so-
kind of low. I don't think he really has many great options here to deal with it.
Yeah,
Thankfully,
there's no
Rillaboom
dark resist on
should
the
be able
team,
to
so...
revenge in any scenario, thanks to Weavile being low now, but it's still not looking great.
Well, if it is Ice Shard, then it might kill the Rillaboom. It kind of depends.
It's probably Scarf Kartana, which, you know, of course will take 50, 55 from Ice Shard here, but will revenge kill it. But what's worth noting there is that the Heatran's now gone. So if it's a defog Zapdos, which it isn't always going to be, of course, but if it is, then it can remove the rocks permanently. Another thing worth noting there is that knockoff only doing 16% means it's definitely not choice banned on the cart. So yeah, it was definitely just a Scarf Cart revenge killing the Weavile there.
Yeah.
I do want to note quickly, I think we have first couple donations here. We just hit $90, so that's awesome. I believe our first goal is $1,000, and I know a lot of people just joined. We actually have 73 people in the chat, so thank you guys so much for joining. And just want to reiterate, you know, Fakee was a longtime community member. He loves Sword and Shield OU, the format this tournament's in, and he's from the country of Venezuela. So we're honoring him and his time in the community by raising money for Doctors Without Borders, an internationally recognized charity doing great work, you know, across the world, including in Venezuela. Yeah, and pivoting back to the game, I think before we were talking about Colberberry, and that kind of showcased it right there, only doing 15% with knockoff.
Yeah, it makes no sense with no dark resist on the team. And the Nasty Plot is
Yeah.
very interesting, because now it's very hard for Mada to actually switch around to take on a Slowking. He does make the right play going well metal on the Sludge Bomb.
I would have lost right there. I would have gone Slow King predicting Flamethrower and then Melmetal, but I would have taken the 55% from Sludge Bomb. So
It does
Mada
make me
has,
wonder if this is AV Melmetal.
no, it's lefties.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait,
Definitely
it did front.
But lefties is always going to be quicker than Slow King, unless it's like very like fast Slow King. Some with Grass Knot do creep Hippowdon, but I don't think that on this team with two grass types you'd use that. So you're probably just going to be threatened out because Double Iron Bash does a million.
Even through the Intimidate, that's like, wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Landorus on this team is almost certainly, ooh, that's a big crit, is going to be specially defensive. So Double Iron Bash will 2-hit KO despite Intimidate, but that crit there does mean that now something like Leaf Blade from Grassy Trainer +1 Kartana can potentially take it out, or something like Flamethrower from even a +0 Slowking can take it out. So that's a lot of damage for McLeven. So despite him being down 2 Pokemon, there is an endgame scenario where a Kartana or a Giga Drain Volcarona or a Slowking clicking the right moves could prevail. It's also worth noting that without Colberberry, you still have no item, so Weavile's knockoff isn't going to one-shot a Slowking Galar at all.
Yeah, true. And also, if he like goes Cortana to click knockoff on a Zapdos, there's definitely an opening there to create a lot of progress. Because if the Zapdos is knocked and the spell metal is so low, then Cortana can definitely take this game.
Absolutely, and I just want to quickly thank Permission X Slip for donating another $5. So we're making a nice march towards our first goal. We're at 95 total. I believe the first goal is set at around $1,000, but just getting to $100 this early on, you know, we're getting there is pretty awesome too. And we do see McLeven taking some time here. I would think he probably just goes Volcarona, but it depends. You know, if he doesn't have Giga Drain or Bug Buzz, he might not even want to enable the Gastrodon. So we'll see.
Yeah, also, yeah, it does go Volcarona.
Yeah,
So we'll have to see
it's
now.
pretty much the chalk play. I mean, Volcarona, in theory, if it has the right moves, could just win this game. But of course, you've got to be scared of Hurricane or Thunder Wave from Zapdos, Clear Smog, Toxic, and Water moves from Gastrodon. You know, I mean, it's probably the most Clefable could do to it is knockoff, but Weavile's knockoff is a lot stronger. You know, there's a lot of variables here, but I think he just clicks a fire move to take out the Melmetal here.
Yeah, you don't want to risk taking a Toxic here on like a Quiver Dance, because then you'd
Absolutely.
probably just lose.
But if Mada is smart, and I think Mada is a really great player, we could see him preserve this for Slowking and go to the Gastrodon. And at this point, looking at Mada's team, there's not really much counterplay for Giga Drain, so he might just say, "Hey, I'm hoping it's not Giga Drain," and risk it, or he may try and do a delicate dance around it.
Yeah, Giga Drain is pretty uncommon, so I do agree he's probably going Gastrodon.
Yeah, we see both players taking their time here, just because the Volcarona set impacts how Mada would, proceed here. And also Mada has to determine, is it worth foddering my Metal, or do I want to try and bring it back later? Is there going to be a later? And as for McLeven, this could be tipping his hand that he's not Giga Drain, or he could be saying, do I want to risk predicting a switch in Quiver Dance, or do I just want to kill this? Which we discussed before, but we'll have to wait and see. But there's just a lot of ripple effects that kind of go from this turn.
Yeah, because if it does stay with Metal, then the Slowking could become a problem. It does go hard Gastrodon on a Flamethrower.
Yeah,
It's
just
not
immediately
fiery
click
dance, but it
Flamethrower.
gets the burn. That burn might actually be like that could determine if it's in Giga Drain range, actually, depending on the special attack and special defense investment. But we don't know enough yet. I also have a feeling it's not Giga Drain. I could be wrong.
Preventing leftovers recovery will at least hamper Mada's ability to play the long game. Not sure how much that's actually going to matter, but goes for it immediately.
Yeah, very aggressive Quiver Dance.
Yeah, but
There's
that's
a cautious-
scalded like nothing.
Yeah. He might have scalded because he predicted like a switch to like Rillaboom or something, but
Seems
be
to not
punishing.
be Giga Drain based on how he's clicking.
After that drop, do we know if Flamethrower is a range to kill here? Because if it is,
I imagine
then
it is.
we could see Mada potentially go to Clefable here, which lives any one hit. Or if he predicts Flamethrower, not wanting to let the Zapdos come in, he could click Bug Buzz on the Slowking. Slowking might even live +1 Bug Buzz, actually. Because I don't think this is max special attack unless this is very, very specially defensive Gastrodon. He's just going to let go of the Gastrodon, though, which, honestly, if it's not Earthquake, isn't really helpful anyway, because it loses to both the grass types, and it wouldn't beat the a Psyshock Slowking Galar.
Yeah, and now Mada just has to like waste enough turns in order to let his Volcarona die to poison. So he lets the Clefable go, probably, because it's not very useful against Mr.
you
McLeven's
probably just-
remaining Pokemon.
You'll probably just click like a knockoff or a Moonblaster just to do damage. I guess you could soft to stall it out. But ultimately, you just need to keep the Zapdos and the Weavile alive for the last two. And that's a nice Slowking there, just because I guess technically Clefable could could do better in the grass types than the Slowking does. So, yeah.
Yeah, or
And
you
a quick
could go back to
aside,
Clefable
thank you,
now and waste
Compe,
another
for the
turn.
$15 donation.
Oh, thank you so much. So, yeah, we just went over $100 at $110. That's awesome for so early on. Yeah, and as Ruft was saying, so Slowking's gonna be let go here, and it's kind of just a double down.
Yeah, we see Zapdos versus Kartana, which is not great for the Kartana because, yeah.
Yeah, but
mean,
the
you could
Zapdos
knock
was
off.
always free, because if you see the Slowking, you just click Volt Switch out, and you could honestly just go Weavile, or you could just go Weavile to force the issue, and then you get a free Melmetal if it dies. So,
Yeah. Getting the proper positioning to break through is going to be very difficult for McLeven here.
yeah.
Another big donation just came in, $25. Thank you, Omega Sization.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a very tough position for Mr. McLeven for sure, because you might also want to preserve the HP on your Slowking, so I'm not sure if you even want to go like hard Slowking.
I think you might just try and knock this off, and then try and win with a Rillaboom later. because in theory the Slowking could either force the Zapdos out or force it lower. You could, for example, after knockoff in Stealth Rock, put this in range of a +2 Grassy Glide, maybe. Emphasis on maybe, but Defog, that's a really smart play. And now that you know this is locked in, you could just spam Roost until he gets paralyzed and end up killing this at 100, and then it's probably game over.
Yeah, defog makes sense because it means the knockoff, like losing the item didn't matter because rocks are never coming up again.
Exactly.
So now we do see Slowking come in on the Roost, which is a very nice play because this will force these Zapdos out and probably claim kill here.
Goes for the Hurricane, gets the confusion, immediate
Whoa.
self-hit. That's rough.
Yeah,
That's
I
very
mean, I
lucky.
still think this game was probably over, barring maybe a Sludge Bomb Poison, although I think he probably clicked, one of Nasty Plot or Flamethrower, seeing as the Melmetal's in the back. But either way, that's very fortunate for Mada.
Yeah, that's also a good point that Mada is also making, that his Melmetal did get critical hit to get to this position.
Yeah, and again, even if he clicks Sludge Bomb, without the poison, I don't think Mada can lose this game.
Yeah. And then there goes the Scarf.
The Scarf being gone is actually kind of helpful. I mean, honestly, because you could change moves, I guess, but it doesn't really make a
You
big
do
difference.
lose your ability to revenge Weavile, which is a little unfortunate, so you now are mandated into doing it with Grassy Glide on Rillaboom.
Weavile doesn't kill Slowking either, though, because it's not Colbert Berry. Like, Knockoff probably does around 50.
True.
I also don't know if you're ever going to get a Swords Dance opportunity with a 17% Weavile. And the Weavile could very well be foddered to the Slowking here. I guess Clefable is a good fodder, too, because it's probably not Slack Off. It's probably just 3 attacks. So you could kind of, rocks and then suffocate it. And that happens here.
Yeah, good play from Mada because he doesn't really need the Clefable for much.
Correct. And Mada now can go Weavile, and since he got that 22% off, it's absolutely in knockoff range here. So, yeah, I think this is getting close to checkmate. If you guys will, we might need to see a Hurricane landed from the Zapdos, but he's probably gonna have 2 opportunities to hit it. And it's also worth noting that we haven't seen if the Rillaboom is Life Orb or Leftovers or whatever it may be.
Goes for the Swords
Ooh.
Dance.
So that means it's
It
probably
looks
like
like
Miracle Seed or Go Berry or something.
Let's see, is it Orb? It is Orb.
Oh, it is
Yeah,
Orb.
the game's over. So do you guys want to go into another game here? We just saw Dugtrio is broken versus Ninealarm start. We saw a handful of other games start as well. Yeah.
Trio is broken is playing versus a rain
Oh,
team.
we just
which,
got a bunch of donations as well. I just want to. The Dugtrio game is cool because he's facing a rain team, which we don't see too often. But also want to note, on top of .comfy's $15 donation, we also saw Omega Cessation $25. Thank you so much. iPros ZZ for $5 and Ninja Snapple for $15, bringing us over $150, which is honestly just awesome to get there already. So thank you guys, all of you, so much.
We already saw a big turn 1 in this rain game because
Yeah,
Weavile went for a
Bear's gone
knockoff because the
immediately.
Zapdos is forced out by Triple Axel. Yeah, it's a good play to knock off, but Barraskewda was very aggressive and got punished very severely. So
Yeah, and Barraskewda, I mean, you do see 2 water resist, but it was kind of a menace here, because if you chip the Tapu Fini, then the Kingdra collects every time. Personally, I don't think that leading Barraskewda was a great idea. Leading Zapdos was a great idea. I think I probably would have led Pelipper or Ferrothorn, but obviously that's all hindsight. That's
Loses the
money.
Damp Rock, but does get the Scald Burn on Weavile immediately, which is interesting.
So this is probably offensive Zapdos with Thunder and Hurricane. So that's a big threat, but we are going to see Ferrothorn instead, perhaps respecting, like an Assault Vest Slowking that could wall it. Nice taunt there.
yeah, definitely
Yeah.
because it prevents hazards coming up from Ferrothorn.
Yeah. And it looks like Dugtrio is really doing a great job at making, these rain turns not matter. We could even see a switch or a U-turn here as well if he predicts something like the Kingdra or the Zapdos. At this point, I think the Zapdos is going to have to do a ton of work, and I'm not sure he's going to get the openings to do it because we got to keep in mind that next time rain goes up, it's only going to be for 4 turns. The burn on Weavile is pretty big, though, because the Zapdos could stay in here.
Yeah, but there is a Slowking Galar. It's probably a Saltfest as well as a Garchomp, so it's gonna be very hard for this Zapdos to break through.
Yeah, I mean, you can just click Hurricane here, and it should do, I'd assume it's specially defensive. You'd think it's like Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Toxic Protect, like a specially defensive variant on this team. And it would do like 40 with Hurricane, but also it could be offensive Stealth Rock, and then it would do probably about 60. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. We see a command from Tapu Fini now. He's probably going Ferrothorn, but it does need, like, if it's Body Press Ferrothorn, he's in trouble. But he might have, like, Power Whip or Gyro Ball. He does have Power Whip, so...
Yeah,
he can
and
deal
it
with
felt
the
a
Fini.
little premature to go with that, because your Fini is your Kingdra check here, too.
Yeah, that's true. That makes actually up for a big opening for Ninealarm then.
Yeah, and I mean, he's still only working with so many rain turns, so that's helpful. And also, if this is offensive Zapdos, which I think it would be on rain, it could just die.
Yeah.
Oh, that actually is a game-saving paralysis there. I mean,
Yeah.
not like really, because this Pelipper might not even be Hurricane, so you might get another kill here anyway. Oh,
Oh,
well.
he does get that aesthetic there.
So there you go. That's the Kingdra opening, because Kingdra, even through resists... Oh, he goes jump. Okay. I was pretty sure Kingdra was there.
Yeah, Kingdra would make probably more sense, but we'll have to see.
Oh
he
my
does
God.
gets lucky enough to deal with this Kartana in the end, so...
Yeah. I think Kingdra would have evaporated like the whole lifeline of the Kartana line.
Yeah, for sure.
This works just as well. I mean, also with Weavile being burnt, you kind of have to take a weird approach. Like, you could go Corviknight here, or you go Weavile. That's fine too.
Yeah, you do still kill with Triple Axle, even if burnt. So
Yeah, but you don't want to
still
triple
first
axe on the
blood.
Ferrothorn, because then you die next time.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of solves that with a nice double switch there.
Yeah, it was a very heads up play to go hard Garchomp to get the Stealth Rock up. Now this Kingdra can't come in too many times because it will get chipped down. And the Pelipper, of course, as well. It's looking very hard now for Ninealarm because his rain turns are really limited now, with the Pelipper also taking rocks damage and the Ferrothorn also going down and missing Leech Seed on this Garchomp. It's looking pretty over.
Yes, I would be inclined to agree that this is kind of approaching checkmate status. If we want to look into other games potentially after this, Ox the Fox, who's a really great SS player, just started his game. We also just saw a Kaishi, another really great SS player, start his game. So we've got some options, but it looks like barring some really big changes promptly, the game's probably over. Slowking and Fini should just win this game, and then you also have Garchomp and Weavile on the back as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's hop into the Bohrier Kaishi game. There's also Estuardo versus Silent Waltz, which looks like a pretty good game. So, but let's hop into the Bohrier Kaishi because this looks over.
Yeah, it's a quite interesting matchup because you do see a Nidoking from Bohrier, and it's actually really difficult for Kaishi to switch into it. But Kaishi does have a very offensive team, so if he can get like the upper hand with some aggressive plays, he can definitely outmaneuver it.
So Nidoking on paper gets 6 kills every single game, but in practice you gotta not click Earth Power into Air Balloon. You gotta not click Ice Beam into Weavile. You gotta kind of predict correctly. So it's a high ceiling, low floor Pokemon. This game, you have 4 Pokemon, maybe 5 Pokemon quicker than it, and a Heatran that's more likely than not going to be Air Balloon. That's my read on this hyper offensive team from Kaishi. So we'll have to wait and see. But another thing worth noting here is Excadrill Understand tends to be pretty good in the offense, but Kaishi not only has the air balloon, probably flame body heat trend, but also Rillaboom is kind of the great equalizer. So that's, we see a lot of kind of status and field manipulation, be it through flame body and through static on other teams, or through terrains like this one that is really great at, dissecting the weaknesses of offense like Execute Under Sand and making it better. And I think this is really showcasing that here.
Yeah, another thing that might be very important here is the set on Volcarona, because Volcarona versus Sand, like Volcarona, it can have a couple moves, but it really needs to have Bug Buzz to deal with Tyranitar, or Giga Drain. But if it's like Flamethrower and Psychic, then it really just can't touch Tyranitar at all. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, no, Psychic would be pretty much useless here. I mean, I guess at +1 it guarantees the KO versus Nidoking, but you need it like 90%, and Flamethrower does that anyway. Bug Buzz would be great here because it covers not only Tyranitar, but also it kills Slowbro. Giga Drain, honestly, even at +1, I don't think it KOs Tyranitar if it's at full health. But you could pretty easily use something like Dragapult and Stealth Rock or Will-O-Wisp or Earth Power from Heat Trend to chip it. And we're going to see that Tyranitar from the lead position. And Bohrier, it's a good lead matchup for Bohrier, but he needs to be careful because he needs his Tyranitar healthy.
Yep, we're almost definitely going to see... Oh, I was going to see a U-turn or a Wisp from this Dragapult, but we do see Wisp and Miss. So Bohrier is getting some free rocks here that will probably be very important in this game.
Yeah, those are probably... Ooh, that's probably the worst possible turn 1.
That equalized it a bit, like they exchanged Thunder Waves, but now Bohrier is the one missing, so...
I was
it's
very
interesting
surprised.
I was going to say, it's interesting that Dragapult does both status moves, Will-O-Wisp and Thunder Wave. You don't see that often, at least not in Gen 8 OU.
Yeah, that's a Sword and Shield set, so I was surprised to see both, but also I thought Will-O-Wisp was pretty free. It kind of hits everything, so I'm curious why that was the decision. I mean, it worked out, so who am I to be a skeptic? But we do see Garchomp come in here, and it's worth noting we see a lot of Resist Berries and even Lumberry on Garchomp. This one's Leftovers, which is going to help negate the Stealth Rock and even keep it in range of out of range of something like Earthquake from Excadrill later on.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting how some metagame influences from Gen 9 do impact Gen 8 as well. Like you see this Dragapult Will-O-Wisp Thunder Wave, you normally never see this, like back when Gen 8 was the main meta. But now you do see it, and also stuff like Oncorkle Fable. Like it's interesting how these interact, these two metagames.
Yeah, there's a lot of examples of that if you go back historically. Actually, I mean, one big one that always stuck out to me, and this is like ancient history for all of you guys listening to this, was back when Generation 6 started. We saw Scarflander ST pick up a ton of usage in Gen 6 just because it was a good glue Pokemon. But back then in Gen 5, no one used Scarf. It was almost always like Swords Dance Rock Polish or Leftover Stealth Rock. And then Scarf took off during Gen 6 in Gen 5. So we've seen a lot of kind of backwards progression like that.
Yeah, and this game is progressing fast. They're both getting lots of hazards up, so this should be a very quick game.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that since he didn't get the burn on the Tar, Earthquake should be able to take out the Heatran here, yep. And also it's, of course, at a higher amount of health. It would probably be down at like 20-30% here. So this is a pretty good spot for Bohrier. But if the Volcarona is Bug Buzz, as we were discussing before, then this game is still very, very, very winnable.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a Volcarona back. It's never over.
The Weavile looks like a good win condition if the Tyranitar ever is to die, because then the Excadrill can't revenge kill it. Ferrothorn's low. Presumably, it could live anything from Slowbro unless it's Body Press from 70%. So that could be a win condition too.
Yeah, he's gonna have to do it with Volcarona or Weavile probably, because Garchomp is gonna be difficult against Slowbro and also Excadrill and Sand. Do revenge potentially. And Rillaboom is also gonna have trouble with Ferrothorn and Tornadus, because Tornadus is still at full health. So yeah, we'll have to see if maybe the Volcarona's Bug Buzz, maybe the Weavile can definitely do it as well, so we'll see. See Garchomp come out to to force out the Tyranitar and also force some chip on it with the hazards when it comes in back next time. So that could provide an opening for Volcarona for sure. And even his Garchomp itself, like, if you can force enough damage on the Slowbro, yeah. It's definitely a threat.
Also, it's not like Earthquake from Drill probably isn't killing after leftovers ever, even if it's adamant. So
you probably do have to attack with the Slowbro first.
Yeah, but what if, let's say, Kaishi clicks Scale Shot here and it doesn't hit 4 or 5 times, so it lives. If you Scale Shot twice, the game could just end.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering.
The Scale Shot does drop the defenses, so then if he then sacks the Tyranitar after to get sent back up, then an Excadrill can at least force it out.
Well, what I'm saying, you could Scale Shot twice though, because the second one would kill the Slowbro.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, it would be faster than Excadrill.
Then you risk, if you get 4 or 5 hits, the Slowbro might die to Scale Shot.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. So.
Yeah, it does make sense because it would outspeed everything and then kill everything.
Tofa just donated $15, by the way. Just want to say thank you so much, Tofa, one of the great SSOU players on Smogon. And just in response to ZX Kaleri, I already won. How do I know my next opponent? So if you stay on the smogtours.psim.us server, they'll be announcing the second round like they did the first. So you could just stay tuned for the link. I know A Ferry and the whole hosting team, they're all doing a wonderful job. So just hang with us. We're going to wait for the other games, more of them to finish, and you'll be seeing another game soon. But yeah.
This should be a big turn. Because Slowbro could just go for Scald, and if it burns, then the Garchomp is pretty much dealt with. Oh, it does have Ice Beam. Ice
Beam makes a lot of sense on this team too, because you don't have like a Buzzwole, for example, which you do see on a lot of teams. Sand stalling here is smart for the Garchomp because now you increase the odds of Scale Shot at +2 killing. And here comes.
Only hits 3, unfortunately.
Yeah, only hits 3, and so if it hit a 4th, it would have needed a very high damage roll to kill after Sand. It would probably have to hit 5 to kill the Slowbro regardless. So now that this is Ice Beam though.
Yeah, the Ice Beam really saved him, and even if he got like 5 hits, he would still only been +1, and the X-Roll would still been faster because the Tyranitar is Smooth Rock, so there's still Sand.
Yeah, so here's my question then. If this is Ice Beam, I would think Future Sight makes sense with Tyranitar and Excadrill, but we saw it Stealth Rock, so maybe it's Ice Beam plus Scald. Either way...
You also see Body Press with Ice Beam sometimes, so we'll have to see.
I was surprised to see the Weavile come in here, because this could have been a chance for Volcarona to do something. Future Sight Ice Beam is weird.
Yeah, so this Future Sight Ice Beam, so Weavile does basically wall the Slowbro, which is funny.
Yes. That is
unless
funny.
It dropped one of its other moves, but probably not, considering it does go for Future Sight instead of anything else.
Yeah, so it's got to be Teleport. So the question is it Slack Off? Is it Scald? Regardless, Weavile has to attack here because if you take an Ice Beam and Sand, you're gonna be low. So I assume we see a knockoff on this turn. Or that's actually a really smart shard because now you're able to live another turn of Life Orb.
Yeah.
So avoiding touching the Ferrothorn is pretty nice there.
Yeah, that's like a perfect play there from Kaishi because now you kill this, so you either force him to go Tyranitar and fodder it right now, which is good to get Sand back up, but you still have the Ferrothorn in the back, and now you're running on Sand. So if you fodder Tyranitar to Ice Shard here, then it gets interesting. I think you could just go Tornadus to counter the...
And Excadrill will be too insanely useful because of Grassy Terrain from the Rillaboom. So,
so he doesn't opt to go Tar here. So he goes Tar there. That's interesting. I mean, I guess it doesn't make a big difference in this game.
Yeah, he gets a Sand up, and the Weevil's gonna die to Life Orb anyway, so it makes sense. Kaishi's gonna have to need his Volcarona to come through to win this game.
Pretty much. And now the sand being reset. As soon as Volcarona goes below like 80%, it's in range.
What could also win is Rillaboom dodging some hurricanes or heat waves from a tornadoes.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking in that if you expect the Rillaboom here from Bohrier, you go Tornadus rather than Excadrill. But he goes Nidoking, which should always live non-choice band Grassy Glide, and I don't think there's ever a world where it's choice banned on Hyper Offense. So that's actually probably the smart middle ground here.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could go Nidoking, and if he goes Volcarona, you could just go hard Tar, hard Drill. So this kind of goes both ways.
Ooh, and it lives the Life Orb Grassy Glide and takes it out with
It's
such
to have a favorable roll to kill. I think that was a roll, though. But now, here's the interesting part, because you could go Volk. Oh, never mind.
Huge crit.
I think he won regardless.
I think so too.
Because if you Quiver Dance again, don't you... Well, let's say that does 60%. Are you in range after the second Quiver Dance? I don't think so. I think that Bohrier won at this point regardless.
Yeah, because even if like the Nidoking would have gotten it low regardless, and well, maybe if a Giga Drain or something to get some.
Yeah, but even then,
recovery
if we see the Nidoking is slower, is faster than the Vulcan, isn't Excadrill probably faster too than +2?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, so I think that it was just a modest or a bold Volk. So yeah.
Yeah, probably.
We want to hop into another game real quick.
Yeah, which game are you guys feeling?
Game.
We just had one start with two cool teams, I guess. I mean, Taito Bird versus I Love Garchomp is an option. There was a Luigi Spitfire game, but that's already over despite starting 5 minutes ago. Yeah, there's not really many new games.
Yeah, there's only 3 games on the sim right now.
So we could also wait for the second round to start, which should start in a moment.
Yeah. We can just watch this for now.
And an Aegislash here. All right.
Yeah. Aegislash, Hatterene, Latios, some Pokemon that are really great Pokemon, but maybe not super common residents of Sword and Shield overuse.
Yeah, I Love Garchomp's using like I'm pretty sure it's a Mind Gaming team. It's like very offensive.
Yes,
and
he's
facing and he's facing a very interesting team indeed. Because that's another example of the influence of Gen 9 OU on Gen 8 OU. I think you see a lot more Hatterene now than you saw back when Gen 8 was the current tier.
Yeah,
Hatterene is interesting because it's Magic Bounce, of course, so it can block hazards. And maybe like the Zapdos doesn't even have heavy boots because it doesn't have to worry about Stealth Rock potentially.
Wow, this is like the in-game Dragon Master's favorite lead of all time.
Yeah. And if Latios, like the Dragon Ball probably has to be wary of Scarf from Latios. If Latios isn't Scarf, then he's also gonna have to switch out from this Dragon Ball, of course. So we might just see both switch. Unless it is, of course, Scarf Latios, and then you can just stay in to attack potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do see a Dracometer, but it unfortunately misses the Aegislash coming in.
To the left.
This Aegislash is usually its Swords Dance, and it's looking pretty potent in this matchup for sure. Oh, he makes a nice. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I think he expected like the Ferrothorn to come in. That's why he had Blaziken, but unfortunately it's Landorus instead. So. See Landorus being answered with Landorus, and a double to Hedrian. Okay. I wonder
Yeah,
what the
this is a
status
nice play
Hedrian
there.
is. Oh, it's future sight. With
of,
maybe like a Salt Fest or something?
Yeah, speak of Gen 9 sets. That's a new one.
Yeah, that's
Earthquake
straight
could
from
be a
Gen
roll
9.
here. Earthquake could be a roll here, but we might also see a switch to an Earthquake immunity. Yeah, we do that. It's worth noting that only the Weavile and the Aegislash really take Future Sight well. So we could see either an Aegislash here or the Landorus just staying in and just eating it, because you don't need the Landorus defensively here too much.
Yeah, and if it is Subdos, maybe it has Heat Wave, which could be a nice play if he predicts the Aegislash or Weavile to come in. Does just have Hurricane. Oh, it's Choice Specs. It takes the Landorus down in one hit. So it is, yeah, it is bootsless as expected because there is a Hedrian to block the Stealth Rock. And Choice Specs is definitely a very fire set to run here.
That specs modest, I'm pretty sure.
Hey, Mason, not sure if you saw, but MZ did let you know that on YouTube the thumbnail is still for the PU live tour.
Honestly, this Choice Spec Subdos is really difficult to deal with for Isle of Garchomp here.
In one?
Apparently, this is not for the charity ball, by the way.
Oh, well, it is.
Oh, good. Yeah, PU level 3 is already here.
You know what? We're waiting for round 2 to start.
Game, so yeah.
Yeah, we're waiting for round 2 to start anyway.
There's a couple of options for Isle of Garchomp here. You could go Weavile or Dragapult to force this out, or even Aegislash if he wants to. Let's go Weavile. There's also the thing, like, this Weavile versus Zapdos interaction is always, oh, I could triple Axel because, you know, that kills Zapdos, but usually they switch and then I'd rather just knock off. So yeah. But we just see a hard triple Axel on the Ferrothorn. Which is punished by Iron Barbs,
I got a lot from Iron Barbs there.
Yeah, and Life Orb as well. They both took the same amount of damage, pretty much.
Yeah. That's the nature of the Weavile versus Ferrothorn interaction there. What is worth noting is that given the 27% on the last roll, it could be a range to kill Ferrothorn from 56. I would think it favors the Ferrothorn, especially when you factor in miss chances, but it did around 50% there, and there's 3 chances to crit, so he could stay in. Oh!
Ooh.
Speaking of
that was
staying
a pretty
in,
crazy
I mean,
sword stand. Yeah.
Shifu punished that really well, so that's good, but still.
Yeah, nice plays from both sides, for sure.
I'm gonna barge in here for a second. Apparently this is not for Fakee Tour. This is for something else.
Yeah, we just figured this out as well. But
Yeah,
we figured that out about a minute ago, but we don't have
okay.
any other games for Fakee Tour going on.
There is
one
just started, so let's move over to
we got
that.
a Cephalon in here too.
Let's go to the Cute VN versus Kana Greninja. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced the name. But that's a good game to pivot to. It looks like 2 pretty standardish teams there. That Greninja team reminds me of the old Double Fire team that Bea built, and the Cute VN team looks like, you know, you kind of pivot and try and clean with Future Sight plus Weavile or with Blacephalon.
Blacephalon looks pretty decent here. I mean, the only ghost resist is Weavile, which obviously has the Fear Flamethrower, so... I wonder if it's Choice Specs or Choice Scarf, because those are the 2 sets you usually see in this tier. Canyon is also another Pokemon you don't see that often, and if it's like Choice Specs, it can also do a lot of damage as well to QTN's team. You do just see a pretty common lead interaction between Tornadus and Landorus. You usually see this Tornadus probably go for a knockoff, and the Landorus, yeah, kind of has a couple of options here.
Definitely, and this is, you know, pretty generic SSOU, you know, cookie cutter lead here. I think we're going to see a knockoff, and it's either toxic knockoff or U-turn on the flip side, just to kind of pivot momentum. One thing that is probably going to play a large role here is if this is going to be Scarf or Specs Blaze. I'm not sure if either of you know this team off the top of your head, because I'm not positive which it is.
I'm not positive either. I think it could be either, honestly.
Because with Shard Weavile, you could go just Specs and no speed control. That does, of course, leave some offense weaknesses, but normally you're able to patch those up with Ice Shard Revenge Killing, let's say a weakened Rillaboom, or a Swords Dance CL Shot Guard Chomp, for example. But on the flip side, if you're expecting offense, Scarf Blacephalon is amazing once you chip something like a Weavile down, so it could go either way. But if it's Specs, Shadow Ball, even with Weavile being there, looks really, really menacing.
Yep, I agree.
So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Kind of the age-old problem regarding Blacephalon. Also, I just want to say thank you to Lax005 for donating. We just hit $175 thanks to your generous donation. Again, we're raising money to honor longtime Smogon community member, a player of SSOU, Fakee. He lives in Venezuela, and we're raising money for Doctors Without Borders, who they contribute all around the world, including to his home country of Venezuela. So it's the least, of course, we could do to rally together as a community. Anyway, we're going to see the game kind of progress onwards again.
Yeah, we saw the Tornadus click U-turn, which, I mean, might be expected, but it is always risky business U-turning into a Zapdos, because as we saw, it does get punished with a static. Which means, of course, the Tornadus now is slower than Blacephalon if it's choice specs, but if it was choice score, it was already outspeeding, so. A very nice Heatran from Greninja there to catch the Ferrothorn, very nice.
Yeah, that was a great play. And so now we're kind of seeing some progress being made. I assume. Oh man, that's tough miss there.
Unfortunately not. Yeah. I
'Cause
actually expected that Stealth Rock there, but
yeah, in theory, I would have expected rocks there, but that could mean this is like an offensive, for example, an Eruption or a 3 attack, or even a Will-O-Wisp plus Taunt Heatran, and it could be Stealth Rock on the Ferrothorn.
yep, that's true. Or even Stealth Rock on Landorus if it's default Tornadus. He goes Ferrothorn as there's Tornadus, which, I mean, you could be afraid of Heat Wave, but it probably isn't Heat Wave, considering there's already 2 fire types on his team. So did you see Knock come out? And rocks go up. Yeah.
So there we go.
Oh, it is Heat Wave. There you go.
Well, and it's Assault Vest too, so that's actually big because now it's not able to. I mean, I know taking all that Heat Wave damage is unfortunate, but that's big for Shadow Ball later on.
Yeah, for sure. This really opens up Blacephalon. That the
I
Tornadus
just
being
want to note
paralyzed
for those in the tournament, round 2 did start, so you guys could check your matchups. Yeah.
I'd say we're seeing a lot of games pop up right now.
Yeah, no, Ox and Spitfire, Storm Zone, a lot of great players playing. So we'll get to that momentarily. In the meantime, though, this does look like an opening for Greninja to try and maybe seize the momentum. If you guys want to stick with this game, up to you guys, of course.
I don't know. What do you guys
dealing with the Slowbro is a bit annoying.
What are you guys feeling?
I'm fine with anything.
Yeah.
Are there any Venezuelan games?
Game looks crazy.
I think I'm not positive, but I think Kochan is Venezuelan, isn't he? But he is playing a stall team, so I don't know if that is very interesting. Well, not. It's fat balance at least.
Is the Ox the Fox Tace game look any good? That's a pretty good.
Does.
That's a pretty good matchup.
Yeah, how about we pivot to that then?
True. Yeah, because there's also an interesting mon there on Tace's team, which you don't see very often, which is Primarina.
Yeah. We also, if we're pivoting over, we're seeing sub Swords Dance. Oh, sorry, I'm ahead. I apologize.
No worries.
But we do see, kind of the exchanging of Chip for Stealth Rocks, followed by Garchomp getting in, and it crucially does avoid the burn. Now, you would think, between the dual priority users and Corviknight, that Garchomp could be walled. But Garchomp does get a Swords Dance off here. And interestingly enough, it clicks Scale Shot here on the Corviknight. Now, that makes sense to get some chip on it because that's really big for Kartana or Rillaboom later on. But after 5 hits, it leaves the Corviknight all the way at half health, which kind of forces a Roost. And on that Roost, he clicks Substitute, which you don't see very often in my experience. So that's cool.
Yeah, definitely a nice set from Substitute Garchomp. It's definitely a nice set, but it does mean it is probably missing Fire Fang for this Corviknight. And it does yeah, it does end up having some trouble there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does look like that.
Yeah, as we see U-turn break this Substitute because of the lower defenses from Skill Shot.
Yeah.
And Weavile forces it out with the Ice Shard. Yeah. Rocks do go up from the Heatran now. Garchomp on Scald again. Not punished
No burn again.
So very fortunate.
So it's interesting that he's going for this again because he's revealed he's not Fire Fang. You know he's kind of walled. He does take this opportunity to go Blaziken, though. That's interesting because if this is Life Orb Stone Edge or Life Orb Adamant, it could maybe kill the Primarina at +2. Or Thunder Punch, of course. Oh,
and it does have Thunder Punch.
That might just win the
goes
game.
Primarina.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I think it does.
Assuming it's close combat, which I'd imagine it is. Yeah. Because you'd need, what, 4 or 5 like Life Orb picks to get it in range of priority now? So
yeah, you'd have to kill this with like Flare Blitz, Recoil. But even close combats again on the Slowking, that's a very nice play.
Yeah, and at this point, even if you kill the Blaziken, it's going to leave you in a position where you're probably dead to rights. Flare Blitz takes this out, sure, but Weavile might kill it with... Yeah, Weavile will kill it with Ice Shard, but at that point you're down a lot of Pokemon, so...
Yeah, down 3 Pokemon, it's very hard to come back, so realistically, Ox the Fox takes this game.
Yeah. Not sure what we want to hop into next. It looks like PU versus Axel just started. We also have a lot of games.
Yeah, let's just hop into PU versus Axel. Looks good to me.
Sure.
I think... Wait, hold on. Jesus GP, I think, is from the captain of the Venezuela team. Versus One
Sure,
Last
we can hop
Kiss.
into that game versus One Last Kiss, who also was friends with Fakee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hop into that one.
Awesome. So, yeah, right off the bat, looks like a pretty bulky team from One Last Kiss and kind of a bulky offensive team from Jesus GP.
Yeah, it's interesting how One Last Kiss's team looks like very fat, but then there is the Weavile and the Nidoking, and he does just KO the Zapdos turn 1 with a nice Ice Beam.
That's probably offensive Zapdos given Ice Beam killing there. And to make matters even worse for Jesus GP, he goes for an Axel, but he runs into Rocky Helmet, so he's taking more damage than he's doing there. This, however, could be a game where a Trick or a Trapper Finny does nicely. If it's Taunt here, it could take out the Blissey. That could open up for the Heatran because we see it's not Shed Shell. Oh
wow, it's Mendler Blissey, which you almost never see, but it works out very well.
You almost never see.
Yeah, you definitely just never see it.
Yeah.
This is the first time
So,
I've seen it.
you're still winning the 1v1 because you didn't click Teleport. I'm surprised you didn't click Teleport. But yeah, now the Finny takes an extra Seismic Toss in return. So something like the Weavile does really nicely for One Last Kiss. So again, with the Finny low and being kind of down I'd say a Pokemon, but not like really a full Pokemon, like, you know what I mean? Now he's down a Pokemon. The Weavile, but on the flip side, Heatran for Jesus GP or Jesus GP does look great because the Toxapex revealed to not be Shed Shell. So if you Magma Storm it, it does just die to Earth Power plus Taunt.
Yep, the game is still wide open.
Yes.
Because the Weavile is indeed very hard to answer, so we'll have to see how Jesus GP does what money is going here. probably gonna be Heatran or Cortana.
I would think here you probably just go to Heatran because it's the most immediate way of forcing damage, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think I agree. Yep, there it is. We're probably just gonna see a Magma Storm to, do
And it's
damage.
good
There you
that
go.
hit.
Oh, and it is a
crit.
crit.
And now the game's getting
Very
really
big.
close here. Yeah.
Yeah, thing is, like, he has got to be afraid of Earthquake, so he's probably going Landorus. But if he U-turns and then goes into Weavile, then it's momentum for one less kiss again. Yeah, there you go. Or Nidoking. That's even better. Oh, but it is slower, so it gets taken out. Wow. Interesting how that didn't happen turn 1. So that's probably why he was confident about it. Yeah.
Wow. So
I'm guessing like this Lander is probably in between like Modest and Timid Nidoking. That's why he switched out turn 1,
And he
like
might have-
being afraid of Timid, but then it was Modest in the end, probably.
yeah, he saw Modest because it killed Zapdos, probably.
Yeah.
And that is
Makes
what
sense.
changed everything. Now, Weavile here doesn't want to click Axel into Heatran. But if he clicks Knockoff into Landorus, that's even scarier. So, okay, he got the knockoff right. So now, I don't know if this is low kick on this team. I would think no with Corviknight and Landorus, but I guess it's
Yeah,
possible.
probably
But
not. But
now
who
this
knows?
is a free Magma Storm for Heatran. It should kill Landorus from this health. It, of course, takes care of Corviknight. If you go Toxapex and you're Scald, depending on the Heatran spread, it could 2 KO. But then Magma Storm and the Earth Power could also do the trick, but you might taunt on recover. There's a lot of ripples to that, so yeah.
Yeah, and really need your Magma Storms to hit at this point, because it's a very tight game, so any missed Magma Storm is gonna set Jesus back.
Yeah. And now both players are really thinking this one through. This became a very close game after a kind of lopsided start.
Yeah, probably gonna see another Magma Storm, but one of us gets us to consider who he wants to sack here.
I guess there's also a world where he just stays in with Weavile and clicks another knockoff, because
Yeah.
that isn't really a useful Pokemon. And if you get this Heatran, for example, in range of Scald from Toxapex or Body Press from Corviknight, like Corviknight wins once Heatran dies, so that could be a play. He does go Toxapex, however. On a wow. Okay, interesting. I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah, me neither. Ladder is I mean, it's a fine play. Because it does, like, Earthquake is gonna do a whole lot to his Toxapex if he ups to stay in. Then again, he does have a Landorus and a Corviknight to cover this Landorus, so...
Definitely. And, I mean, Earthquake on a stay probably does 70, 75, maybe 65, depending on investment. But you can potentially burn with Scald, or you could get up Toxic on this, which could be helpful. But I also wonder if he goes Corviknight, because if you go Corviknight on stay, it's great. If you go Corviknight on a U-turn, however, then you let Heatran
That's
back in.
free Heatran right there.
Exactly.
But vice versa, if you U-turn on the Toxapex staying in, not only do you take the Rocky Helmet we saw before, but there's no safe switch into Scald on Jesus GP's team,
Yeah, that's very true.
which leaves me inclined to believe if he has Scald, he's probably staying in at least for one turn. But we've seen turns we haven't expected so far, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's been an entertaining game for sure, with the Nidoking interactions.
Yeah.
And also the Meddler Blissey coming in somewhat clutch. As it did force damage on the Feeny for Weavile to take advantage of. We see one last kiss in a chat going for a random pick between the options, so he might have just picked between clicking Scald or switching to maybe Corviknight or Landers.
Yeah.
Let's go Corviknight. And we do see a U-turn from a very nice U-turn from Jesus, because now he gets to go free Heatran and gets to click Storm for free as well.
All he has to do now is just pray that it hits.
If the Corviknight stays, then he does take, like, every Magma Storm into a Corviknight does waste 2 PP, and it might just live Magma Storm and click U-turn. But that might be 4 PP just to use on the Corviknight itself, and then he might get into PP troubles later on, who knows.
Yeah, I mean, if this runs out of Magma Storm, which I'm not sure is super likely at this point, it does give the Weavile a Swords Dance, and then the game is over if it's not Scarf Kartana.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's the Magma Storm we were expecting turns back, so that's good.
Yep, and it does hit, so if this Heatran has Taunt and Earth Power, doesn't even necessarily need Taunt. Yeah, there's a Scald, and now an extra power will take it out.
Correct, because we saw its Rocky Helmet before.
Yeah, it can switch. Oftentimes you do see the stock specs with Shed Shell to like knock off D-Trend and then switch. But yeah, it's Rocky Helmet in this case.
Taking out the talk specs is very nice for his GP there.
Definitely.
For sure.
And now we see
rocks
the,
coming from
the Eternal Handshake of Sword and Shield.
Yeah, exactly. Usually when you have Heatran, it's rocks on Heatran and then Defog on the Landorus, so you probably just see these rocks being removed again. Yep, there you go. Let's give one last kiss, because his Landorus is slower, a free U-turn into Weavile. And we see Triple XL, and on the Landorus stay, very nice.
Yeah,
so there goes
Landorus there.
Yeah, there's very heads up Triple XL, because if he Triple XL'd into the... Well, I guess Knockoff might have just killed after, I'm not sure.
Yeah, we also don't know the ability,
at least, if it's Flame Body, yeah, exactly. Like, the E-Tran in SS, like, it's sometimes Flame Body, sometimes Flash Fire, but if it is Flame Body here, then Triple XL was very risky. Ooh, and he dodges the Magma
terrible
Storm
miss on Magma Storm there.
That's very huge. That probably decides game, honestly. Well, not necessarily, but it's definitely a big advantage for one less kiss now.
Yeah.
So now we see Weavile duel. See knockoff do a whole lot and live the other one. So now it really comes down to the faster Weavile taking out the other. And it is leftover score of Knights, so he doesn't have to be afraid of like Rocky Helmet or something.
Even if Jesus GP does win the speed tie here, I don't know if he can break through.
Yeah, I don't know if... Yeah, I also don't know if Ice Shard kills from Jesus, because it will kill from one last kiss.
Yeah.
Opts to switch because he is slower, and I guess Ice Shard probably did kill. So it goes Corviknight. Nice play. Ooh,
only hits the one.
Well, only hits one, but he did just roost, so he can do it again. But the thing is, yeah, it's not gonna do a lot, and then it probably just walls Cortana.
Yeah, I think that's just
Still,
the
so
Corviknight is
one
impossible to beat at this point.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if it's like Swords Dance, it has a chance, but then it still has to deal with the Weavile. Like, still gets this to avoid getting KO'd by Weavile after. But I think it's probably choiced anyway. In which case, Corviknight just walls it and wins.
Yeah, even if it's Swords Dance, Body Press does a ton, and then unless it's like kills it and is plus speed, I don't know.
Oh, it is? Yeah, it's not gonna kill his Corviknight, unfortunately. Yeah, there you go. Didn't body press, but yeah, it's the same result. Okay, well played by One Last Kiss for sure. Though he did get lucky with the Magmasaur miss. Yeah, that's how it goes
round
Definitely.
three
It was
just
a close
went out.
game. Round 3, yep. What round does it become best of 3 again?
I have no idea actually. What game do we want to hop into, by the way?
I think we'll wait for round 3 games to start.
Oh yeah, there's only 5 games up right now.
Yeah.
While we're signing, a quick thank you to Jared Cooper for the $5 donation.
That's awesome. So we're at $180. That's a great start to the day.
I'm just gonna put this game on the screen since it's better to have a game on than not. But we can wait for the
Sure.
third round to
Yeah.
talk more.
Do we know what set this places? Because if it's Scarf, it probably.
Yeah, if it's Scarf, the game ends. We'll have to see now.
Oh, round 3's up, so let's
Yeah, we're just waiting for those games to start. It looks like a couple just did. We got We Three
It
Kings
looked
versus
like it is choice
Memphis,
specs was as well.
LB versus Cicada.
LB versus Cicada, Franco versus Spyop. You guys can take your pick.
Double Moltres Scalar is pretty funny. Let's do that.
So that's Cicada versus LB or Longest Banana.
That's funny because the team Longest Banana is using, it is an Ox team that normally has Mandibus over Moltres, isn't it?
Yeah, that
He
is
just took the
exactly.
Mandibus and he thought, oh, what's that other Dark Flagmon again? Oh, Moltres Galar, there you go. So yeah, very interesting.
So it does alter the pace of the team pretty heavily.
Yeah, for sure. It's also an even more offensive team from his opponent, Cicada.
So one thing that's worth noting here is Tapu Koko's profile lets it resist stabs from both Moltres and Hawlucha, but if you take chip from one, then the other beats you.
Yeah, that's indeed a good observation. So it's probably only going to be able to check one, and then Longest Banana is going to be very cautious about the other one.
So we might see the Moltres be used early in the game, because it has the inaccurate move and kind of a lower floor. And if it can hit a Hurricane or even a Fiery Wrath on the Coco, then a +2 Hawlucha really only is stopped by either priority or like Toxic Landorus or getting a ton of turns right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and if like Hawlucha often runs Substitute in this gen, so if it stops on a Toxic from Lando, then it's definitely game over. Oh, and we see another Thunder Wave Dragapult with a Focus Sash. So unfortunately, Longest Banana's Moltres is already crippled pretty heavily, but it does get to at least take the Dragapult down to its Sash.
Thunderbolt.
Yeah, another interesting Dragapult set. Thunder Wave and Thunderbolt. Yeah, it works out well here because,
This
well,
dude is
it
addicted
kind
to
of
the
trades.
yellow.
Yeah. And it basically trades with the Moltres because it is very crippled now. And yeah. Just doesn't get to half, so no boost quite yet. And Lele does ooh, Calm Mind. If it has Psyshock, it can definitely wrestle past the Slowking, so. Barely lives, does Sludge Bomb. No poison. Okay, so the double Lele, it can go for a Moonblast now if it expects like Moltres to come in as a sec maybe. Or Slowking is just sec, sure.
No wonder it
should be faster, so.
Yeah.
And your turn takes it out, yeah. Coco comes in, sure. Oh, it gets rid of the terrain instantly, so Hawlucha actually cannot get the speed boost anymore from a burn. Berry cannot be activated.
That's cool. And the Coco goes down.
Yeah, because it is a Roselli Berry card chomp, so it only does 34 with Dazzling Gleam.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden Hawlucha is a threat again, even if like the acrobatics is only gonna do half of what it normally does. Like it just needs close combat really. Okay. So Garchomp is going down, but not before
It
doing
does
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
damage
damage
to this
initially.
Urshifu. Yeah.
And there comes the Halucha. Now, we saw U-Turn do a lot before, so this is probably Choice Banded.
Yep. And yeah, unfortunately, Acrobatics is only going to do half to this Landers. Yeah, it's doing nothing. But if it has Substitute, maybe we can do something here. It does just go Hardy Tread with a balloon.
You know, I
On
think
Toxic,
that
very nice.
I think Cicada kind of misprioritized this a little bit.
Yeah. But then again, the Moltres could still steal a game. We'll have to see. So balloon gets broken. Shiva comes in, and yeah, it's gonna take another life.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that we see CC and not Surging Strikes.
Well, it's faster anyway.
Oh, it's faster, yeah, sure, then doesn't matter. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, Moltres is gonna have to take a close combat as well. Barely lives. Goes for agility, but the issue is, if this Urshifu has Aqua Jet, then the game is over.
It should be,
yeah.
too.
Just
Yeah, it
barely
should be.
lives.
Nice nasty plot, but it's probably not gonna matter.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
think it's going to
maybe-
matter here.
Yeah, it's not gonna matter.
I just want to
Moltres
say
even
thank you
lives
to
higher
Winter
up,
Bub
yeah.
for our $10 donation for Doctors Without Borders. We're almost at $200, which is kind of our next sub goal here. So at 190, so thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, ultimately, the Moltres that won is the one that was a Manibus before. There you go.
What are we
So, I
feeling
guess
for the next game to get into?
Tonkman versus Lina just started, as well as Estuardo versus Chlorodul. I'm not sure if either of those pique your guys' interest. Farden also just started his game.
Let's do
Which
the
is-
Eduardo game. Here it is.
Yeah, it's the Eduardo game. Okay. So right off the bat,
Oh,
we're
very
seeing Avail with
interesting team from
Jirachi. That's
Eduardo.
cool.
Yeah. Okay, Drake me about balloon,
Mm-hmm.
and I trade rocks. Okay. Actually takes nothing from the Moonblast. Very nice double to
Nice
Garchomp
double
on
pick,
this.
yeah.
Moonblast. Yeah. It's a hefty amount with Draco Meter.
Probably arranged to do a KO.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Ooh, and the Stubblers lives on 1%, unfortunately, for Estuardo. So yeah, these Stubblers are gonna come out of this unscathed, unfortunately for him. Zeraora does get to knock something off at least.
we could potentially even set up. It doesn't look awful here. You know, it
Yeah,
does
true. The
beat
only
Raptor,
downside
Finny, and
is-
Weavile. The main thing is
Yeah, the
you
only
just gotta
downside
really chip the Needle King.
Yeah. I was gonna say the only ground type is Nido King, but that's not a very sturdy one.
Yeah, it takes like
So
40 from
Zeraora
knockoff.
definitely looks good. Yeah. And with the Veil, yeah, there's definitely still a lot of options for Estuardo. And he does have to think, do I go for knockoff, do I go for bulk up? Both makes sense, just depends
Yeah,
on what you
there's a lot
expect.
of ripples to this this turn.
Yeah. Lucy Heart Nido King? On bulk up. Okay, so that's a good Nido King because it's not gonna die to any move normally, and Earth Power would take out the Zeraora.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting the knockoff there, honestly, because it hit everything. But
Mhm.
a knockoff on like a Hurricane or a Toxic could have really gotten scary. So I get why he went for the bulk up to try and force the issue immediately.
Game was risky, but it did work out because if you go Nido King
Yeah.
on knockoff, then yes, all of a sudden you're doing way less damage, and of course you're also chipped a whole lot for the Zeraora later
Yeah.
on. And now Estuardo probably just gonna have to sack his guard chomp, I just assume. Well, he does have Healing Wish maybe from the Jirachi. I'm actually assuming that's the reason it's there. So maybe he has some plans there. Could be interesting is if you use maybe Blaziken like in this game to chip the Feeny, and then maybe you just bring it back with Healing Wish later if it's chipped, and then you could just win it the second time round. So we'll have to see.
We also, I guess, could just see a knockoff here, but it doesn't feel like Nidoking being, weakened helps anything.
Mm-hmm. He does a sick guard chomp.
Now, does anything really beat the Nidoking here, or do you just go for the Veil?
Yeah, that's a good question. Do probably go Ninetales, because if it has Blizzard, it would also do a lot of damage. And if you fail, then you live Sludge Wave as well, so...
Yeah, I mean, there's also the option, if it's Protect on Blaziken, you could just go for it, click Protect, and then you could probably kill this in one shot, but that does invite the Tapu Fini in.
Yeah.
It feels like Chlorodul. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. It's pretty far ahead given the current position.
So Ninetales does come in. Probably gonna go for a Veil. Actually, I'm not sure if it even lives Sludge Wave after Veil, honestly. He does just go Heatran, safe play, and does go just get a Veil up, yeah. Yeah, what do you do as Estuardo here? You can hard Blaziken, yeah. On Magma Storm, it's gonna chip this a lot. You do get an opportunity to set up here if you want, or just chip whatever's coming in, probably the Feeny.
Yeah.
Unless he sacks the Heatran, which is also valid. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's worth noting that the Heatran isn't really needed for anything besides maybe the Jirachi, and even that could run a fighting move.
Yeah, and as we said before, if you let Feeny get chipped, maybe this Blaziken is getting Healing Wished later, so you really need all the health on Feeny you can get.
Yeah. A lot of this game could come down to what the Jirachi is, and also being able to keep the Nidoking healthy for the Zeraora.
Yeah, Nidoking for Zeraora, Feeny for Blaziken.
Yep, bingo.
Yeah, and I guess Weavile for Moltres mostly, and Zapdos as well. Jirachi, I mean, I'm assuming it is like Scarf Healing Wish or something, but it could be a lot of other things for sure as well. So we see Feeny coming in to deal with Blaziken as expected. Who knows, maybe this one is Thunder Punch as well. As we saw before, the Blaziken taking Primarina out. This is its more common cousin. Maybe it'll suffer the same fate.
Yeah, it's possible with leftovers already being revealed. I'm less inclined to believe it's Thunder Punch.
Then it's usually Protect with leftovers, yeah.
We could see a switch here to Jirachi. We could also just see a Swords Dance and say, hey, I'm going to try and keep this as low as possible. And then when with Moltres, Moltres coming in itself was not on my bingo card personally, but that works too.
It actually gets Whirlpooled.
Between Whirlpool and Tail, it's very likely that Berserk is going to get procced in the next turn if it doesn't die right here. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and you kind of wish a Whirlpool did like 2% more damage.
I actually think if it's caused by residual damage, does it still activate? I'm not sure.
I don't actually remember them.
I think
you
it
might
doesn't.
be right. Yeah,
so,
you're right.
Yeah.
I apologize. Yeah, because Whirlpool goes first before all the. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So at that point, it just depends on whatever he switches to here.
Well, he's probably
stays in.
Moonblast, yeah.
Yeah, it takes a Moonblast because of the Veil, of course. So now it's at +5 in
oh no!
turn because of the weakness policy.
Well, it's only going to get one attack off, but yeah.
True, but whatever comes in is very likely just dead on impact.
It is just nuking something here.
I assume you could just fodder pretty much anything, honestly, besides the Nidoking or the Fini itself.
Well, I wouldn't. Yeah. If you fodder Fini, you get trouble with Blaziken. If you fodder Nidoking, it cripbles their aura,
Yeah,
so it's
so
gonna
you
be
can go
not one of
Rillaboom
those
or
two, but
Zapdos
anything else
here.
is fine. Yeah, exactly.
Because you've
Probably
got two
Rillaboom,
priority
honestly.
users. You only need one of the priority users, really.
Yeah. Oh, Zapdos, yeah, also valid.
Does
We actually see Hurricane and it lives, wow.
Just some friendly chip.
Yeah. Yeah, Fire Wrath gonna take out. Because it is faster. And now, yeah, we see Weavile does take rocks damage. It's probably like Life Orb or Choice Band. And it reveals not to be Life Orb, so. It's interesting because the Moltres wasn't speed boosted.
Yep.
Not sure why he sharded. So here comes Jirachi. So it is probably Choice Scarf if you're, or you expect Choice Band. I mean, either or.
I would expect Scarf, but it's.
Oh,
Jirachi.
it is Cosmic Power. Okay.
Oh.
So Cosmic Power, Stored Power, almost definitely, and then it might be like Drain Punch for the Weavile. It could honestly steal the game here.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Weavile didn't like stay in.
Yeah, it might
bit.
be Choice Band, maybe, but then I'm surprised why it Ice Sharded.
Does make
Yeah.
me wonder if potential chip from Whirlpool could get it in range or something. Although, given the fact that nice
Ooh.
taunt.
Yeah, it don't make sense with Whirlpool. But then again, it is already +2. Yeah, Sword Power isn't gonna do a lot, even with +2, I'm afraid.
But none of those boosts are in special attack, so.
Yeah, exactly. So he's probably just gonna see a Whirlpool to chip this, because like the chip damage is gonna be the same regardless of these defense boosts. So
Does Jirachi get any 50% recovery?
No.
yeah, only
You get-
24. Gets Wish,
You get
but
Wish, but it's not going to be using Wish on the set.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's also taunted, so he does at least get a little bit of chip on his Feeny for Blaziken, but yeah, it's not a lot. Oh,
That's a
Nice
good-
crit.
I stand corrected because of the critical hit there.
I wonder if he tries to click Drain Punch once to live here and then Stored Power again. He probably just click Stored Power, honestly.
I say I don't think because he's probably just gonna. Oh well.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh, if you
I
stopped
won.
Drain Punch there, it would have been huge. Yeah,
I would.
you won.
Yeah, Dolce had the absolute perfect Feeny set for this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Finny
Unfortunately-
is in range, though.
yeah, it is chip, but the placing is also quite low. I think it's just gonna get dealt with priority. Then again,
Yeah. You
it
need
does
100%
have leftovers and
placement.
probably protect. So, I mean, there's still some chances there. You do resist both Grassy Glide and Ice Shard, and if Grassy Glide is used to deal with it, then you get protect to get
Yeah.
recovery from both the leftovers and Grassy Terrain. So, there's still something there. Okay, close combat to deal with the Weavile, but he does go Nidoking.
So maybe the
And
play
now,
here is to fodder Blaziken and win with this.
yeah, probably, honestly. Does he have to
Because
father
that-
Sub? Oh,
Yeah, well,
well,
doesn't matter now.
we see... Well, we see Sarah auto fathered. He can still get fail up now, and then maybe Blaziken can do it potentially, but we'll have to see. Unless it already dies to glide, which
yeah,
I think it
if
does
this
now.
dies to
Yeah.
glide, that might have been a mistake.
And it's just the end of the game, probably. Well, at least you get the grassy terrain with, like, you can benefit from it with Blaziken as well with Protect, so we'll see. Yeah, the Fiend is also still pretty healthy. I guess at half, so. Hard for Estuardo, I believe. Here comes Rillaboom, probably clicking Glide to take out this Ninetales. Yeah, it does die. That's leftovers.
Yeah. So that looks
So
like
yeah, we
it's
get Sword
probably gonna-
Dance on knockoff, so yeah, the leftovers are gone. And yeah, if he goes Feeny, then the train is also gone, so then there's no recovery, so. You
Yeah,
can just
and I just want to say,
glide.
all Tessia donated $15 to put us above $200. Thank you so much. Yeah, just want to reiterate to everyone watching, we are raising money for Doctors Without Borders, who contribute not only to Venezuela, the home country of Fakee, a long-loved community member who unfortunately passed, but also we're trying to get up to 250, and that kind of is our next sub goal. So if you guys have any questions, ask in the chat. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for donating. What game do we want to hop into next?
What do we got available? Any
Not
just
much.
start?
Enafable, I Love Garchomp just ended.
That game just ended on turn 11, so.
Yeah. Doesn't look like there really is.
Nemos
too terribly.
Axel is almost over. Yeah, this
one
one's
that
almost
Mario
over.
versus-
get assigned a matchup, so.
Oh, here's a new one. This one just started.
Yeah, Mario versus Shiridu is not that far progressed.
Yeah, no,
There's
we got
Bohrier,
12 Pokemon alive. That's a biggie.
A good ball strike from Mario to chip the Duck specs, and now we can force some damage on something else with potentially even V-Create. We'll have to see.
Yeah. We don't see a ton of Victini. It's a Pokemon that's really good at forcing progress, though, so it's cool.
Oh, great V-Create. There you go.
Yeah, there's a good V-Create. Because you don't want to lose the Tox specs, of course, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole lot, but because of the speed drop from V-Create, you are forced out on his next turn. Oh, but it's still faster. So maybe from the prior turns he knew that the Landa wasn't invested in speed. Yeah, Weavile now comes in to in fact threaten his Victini out.
Yeah, knockoff should kill this easily, and the Dark Resist is only opposing Weavile, so that's really good for Shiridu. But Landorus looks like it was already weakened by Toxic and other things, so it just gets disposed of there. Following up this, I'd assume we could see one of two things, either the Melmetal, or you could potentially go Rotom. I guess if your own Weavile is low kick, you could try and threaten that out, but you don't want to low kick into the Toxapex.
Yeah, so the Toxapex is chipped at least, but then again, they're also just a full health Scizor, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing we'll just see one of Melmetal or Rotom. I guess Victini is also a play, but yeah, not really. Melmetal's fine. Okay, so we saw Thunder Punch expecting the Toxapex maybe, but I mean it does also chip Scizor and potentially fish for paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
The Scizor's probably gonna look to knock something off. Probably yeah, just anything, because everything still has their item. If you knock off Melmetal, that's gonna be big. Or dealing with it later. Did she U-turn? I have to be in Deceptors or Toxapex, love to see. This is nice because it can punish with static, but has to be very wary of Toxic, so. Yeah, but you don't expect Toxic into Scizor, so good Zapdos there.
I'll be back in 30 seconds, guys. Sorry.
Okay, no worries.
Checking something real quick.
Mario was
not?
pretty fortunate not to get a static proc at least. But he could, if he's, well, I guess it's not leftover, so it's probably not toxic. Might be Assault Fest. Or protective bats, one of those. If it's bats, then of course he wasn't lucky anyway. He just knew he wasn't getting static. Then we could see Ice Punch, maybe even Earthquake on a Roost, but that's like really risky because he might just not Roost at all.
Yeah.
See another Thunder Punch into Scizor, okay. Takes this opportunity to Victini on the Roost, very nice.
Very nice, very nice.
You probably just go Bolt Strike because nothing resists electric and you expect the Toxapex to come in. But then again, if you Bolt Strike into Zapdos and get static proc, that's very bad. Yeah, probably not because you do want Zapdos healthy. Ooh, and he even misses Bolt Strike on this Scizor itself, wow. Very nice stay, honestly, from Shiridu. Because if you V-Create, he's obviously a goner. Okay, Weavile forcing out the Victini, forcing a knock on the Melmetal, and it was a Salt Fest, so... That being gone is nice for Shiridu's, Zapdos, and Slowking. Ooh, really great double from Mario. Expecting the Scizor on his Melmetal, just goes hard Victini to take advantage of it.
Yeah, very nice. Puts Shiridu in
Yeah,
a
now his
very
question is...
awkward position.
Yeah, now the question again is, do you Bolt Strike or do you V-Create? Because if you expect Toxapex, you're always gonna have to Bolt Strike. But last time this was predicted by Shiridu.
Yeah, so this is a big kind of swing turn here, honestly.
Yeah. I'm guessing he's still gonna Bolt Strike, because U-turning with, or knocking with Scizor is like really risky business.
I'm clicking V-Create here. I think he's gonna take the risk this turn, but it's just conditioning psychology at this juncture, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Both plays are valid from either player, so yeah. Yeah, we see another Bolt Strike on a stay, another U-turn. So there's also, I mean, I'm guessing this means the Scizor doesn't have knockoff. Oh yeah, it's default Roost U-turn and then Bullet Punch. Okay, sure. So very nice plays from Shiridu, staying twice with Scizor on the Victini, both Bolt Strikes. Risking Scizor both times, but it working out beautifully. I guess that's also why Mario took that risk, because he knew there's no knockoff, but yeah, U-turn is still punishing. So another forced knockoff from this Weavile, and the Melmetal. It's looking like the next knockoff is a roll, so Shiridu's probably not gonna be risking that.
Yeah, no, this is it probably doesn't kill based off my head calc, but it's definitely at least a roll.
Yeah.
But there isn't really much else that could switch in here either. Yeah, you got to fodder the Victini.
Oh, he does knock off, and yeah, Victini's gone, and Mario realizes. Well, he realizes he kind of got outplayed. Like Shiridu makes some great plays with Scizor. Yeah,
definitely. So we could look for another game now.
Maxis One Last Kiss just started.
That's good, that's good.
We got some prime Magnezone real estate right here.
We do have some prime Magnezone real estate.
Yeah, but the Magnezone, it can trap the Melmetal potentially, and that opens up his own Melmetal. So yeah, some more Melmetal gaming. Let's see. That's another typical handshake moment here. Tornadoes presumably both... Oh, nope. One is clicking Toxic. Okay. I wonder if this Tornadoes has both knockoff and Toxic. Well, it goes for U-turn, so probably not. It is faster. It is a speed tie, so...
It could just be knockoff on the Rillaboom and Toxapex here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But getting the Toxic off on Tornadus is pretty huge because the Rillaboom can knock it off later anyway. So once you get rocks up, you could keep this low, and then Rillaboom could potentially really play make a big impact here.
Yeah, that's very true. So this Tornado is getting walled by Doc Specs, but he does have a Slowbro to like go for the classic future side teleport sequence.
Yeah. Speak of knockoff there, he's going to get it. So at least he gets helmet chip off there, but that's going to be very temporary. Yeah.
The future side should be... Well, you might not want to take this Toxic, so teleport might not be used here. Might have to hard switch. But then again, it's not the end of the world either. You do get momentum. Yeah, he just tank the Toxic and teleports. So now the question is, how is he going to take advantage of the future side?
It's hard to say, honestly. I would think he could just go to Melmetal, though.
Yeah. He could honestly go for like a Superpower Earthquake. That would be a big move here.
I think he's going to predict the Heat Trainer or the Toxapex, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Heat Trainer or the Melmetal.
Yeah, exactly.
The Heat Trainer or
The
the
Steel
Melmetal.
types are going to be the ones that don't take a lot from future side. And there's the high horsepower. Okay, yeah, that makes sense with Grassy Train from Rillaboom. So, yeah, very great high horsepower. There's a lot of damage.
Probably a very attack-invested Melmetal, because that did a lot of damage.
Yeah. Honestly, this Melmetal kind of just took Magnezone's job of dealing with the opposing Melmetal.
But also, that's probably why One Last Kiss was okay going to Melmetal, because he knows it's not long for this game. So he kind of put himself in a corner when he got that Toxic off, which is fine because Toxic's valuable. I don't love the Pex there, but it did work.
Yeah. Even with the crit from Double Iron Bash, just not taking too terribly much.
Yeah, but now he still has to... Okay. I mean, I guess it worked out because he gets rocks probably now?
Probably, though he does take a lot from Scald, so... And if you take Scald, then this one metal becomes even more of a problem. Especially in conjunction with future side from the Slowbro. Yeah, Slowbro was the obvious switch from Maxis there, so... Going Heatran there does mean he probably is taking some kind of initiative. Unless he was just very afraid of Earthquake from High Horsepower, maybe dealing with the Toxapex? Yeah, I guess so. That's why he went Heatran.
Yeah.
And now goes into Tornadus.
No burn there, which is nice.
I'm probably gonna see another teleport from Maxis, and yeah, U-turn from One Last Kiss.
Yep, and we're going to see kind of the pivoting circle of healing with Regenerator there.
Yep. Tornadus is gonna look to maybe knock off this Garchomp, but he could just go Tornadus of his own. It's already knocked.
Yeah, at this point, I think it's just gaining footing because there's no incentive in taking a big risk here.
Yep. The toxic damage does force Maxis to U-turn there, yeah. So now One Last Kiss can do something with his Tornadus, maybe. But he's probably just gonna U-turn.
Slower U-turn, yeah.
Yeah, it's a speed tie, so they're both like gambling. Like, oh, I hope I'm slower. I'm the slower one this time. So yeah. One Last Kiss gets the initiative now with a slower U-turn, and he now can go in something to punish the Slowbro. But unfortunately for him, honestly, his team isn't very good at doing that. There's Rillaboom at least, so.
Yeah, the issue with Rillaboom is it doesn't really do much with Tornadus being so healthy, but the issue is that his rocks are probably on Pokemon that aren't getting in safely either very often. kind of leads him to be a little bit of, I don't want to say trapped, but it's not super easy to make progress here.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, I'd say
Tofa
Maxis.
said it looking tricky for one last kiss because there's not a clear win condition, which I kind of agree with.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Maxis does have a win condition, I'd argue, because the Melmetal is always gonna make some sort of progress with Future Sight, while One Last Kiss is gonna have to do it incrementally and more slowly, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Melmetal is valid because you get a little bit of recovery, and if you double air bench flinch this, then you're also gonna be making progress. It does if you wary of the Magna Zone, and that's probably why he is going Guard Chomp. But Maxis it goes Melmetal instead. Which is not ideal for him either, but it's a more neutral matchup. Okay,
Well, there's the
Tornadoes and
rock.
Rocks. We are
The issue
probably
is-
just gonna see a defog, but then again, he can stall some turns with Protect, force some damage on his Tornadoes that way.
But you don't want to take a knockoff and lose the leftovers, and you can't
exactly,
really
it's
damage
risky.
the Tornadoes, which is the issue here.
Yeah, the question is, do you rock again, expecting a defog, maybe, forcing this Tornadoes to toxic damage, but then again, if the Tornadoes knocks off the Guard Chomp, that's also huge, so...
I expect him to just conservatively switch out.
Yeah. Maxis honestly has a couple of options. Like, you could defog, you could U-turn to take initiative, like momentum, but then the rocks are gonna remain up. Or you could knock off if you really expect One Last Kiss to be aggressive and stealth rock to really force the issue. He does go Tornadoes on a defog, yeah.
Yeah.
One Last Kiss winning the speed tie this time, so it's gonna be Maxis probably U-turning to get momentum this time, yep.
That's what I would think, yeah.
Guard Chomp again. I guess you can't go and do anything with defog because you just switched out of it, so...
Yeah.
Wonder if this Guard Chomp is a more defensive... Oh yeah, it has to be Stealth Rock, because it's the only rocker there, yeah. It could be offensive Stealth Rock as well.
Yeah, in theory.
Heatran with Balloon on Guard Chomp, it might seem like it's weird, but it actually makes a lot of sense, because you're immune to both Earthquake and Toxic. And it's Eruption,
That's
actually, which is
honest,
actually
yeah.
really nice here.
Because if you click
It's a
Eruption
slow bro.
again,
Ooh.
I don't love... Okay, it worked.
Oh, yeah, it worked. The taunt worked because he's trying to teleport out. And now Eruption is just gonna do a whole lot of damage. Probably into
Yeah.
Guard Chomp.
He might have to go right back to Garchomp, or he might... I mean, everything else kind of dies. Like, I don't think Torn will.
And the issue going into Guard Chomp is also it doesn't actually deal with the Heatran, so... Presumably.
This kind of is the reason why Eruption Cran is so good, because you force these awkward interactions where if you get in 100% and your Balloonists don't attack, you corner the ground type, and other secondary resists don't handle Heatran too well. Toxapex isn't doing a ton of damage and loses to 1v1 if it's not Shed Shell. Slowbro, as we saw there, did 44% damage, so yeah.
There's Eruption on Guard Chomp, but the question is, yeah, what are you doing with the Guard Chomp? Like, if it's the classic set of Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Toxic Protect, then just, yeah, can't touch Heatran, so... I guess you're just wasting some PP. You could go back to the Slowbro as well, but yeah.
If you hit Magma Storm on anything else, it's dead. And, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, there it is. Wow,
Yep.
very well done by One Last Kiss, honestly. It was looking very grim for him, but he positioned in such a way that Heatran, was able to force some progress. Because the taunt on Slowbro also ended up working out beautifully, so... And now it's another awkward situation because you could Scald, then you do lose Slowbro if one less kiss Magma Storms, probably.
I think you
And
just flip
Teleport
the
can get
board.
punished by Taunt. So. Yeah, that's fair.
Or even you could switch to Chomp. Yeah.
That works. Oh, Future Sight, wow. And now the question is again, how is it going to take advantage of the Future Sight? Because this Guard Charm is honestly kind of awkward. The rocks that went up are going to stay up because they did lose Tornadoes to Heatran previously. I see Guard Charm mirroring off. Okay. One less kiss doesn't want to go Heatran now because the Future Sight's going to land. Yeah, there you go. Gonna protect first, and now we can go Heatran if he wants to.
Yep.
Maxis might want to punish that on his next turn. We'll have to see.
It feels like One Last Kiss is just getting a lot of those like proactive turns right here so far.
Yeah. Was Slowbro expecting the Heatran presumably, and it also
That's
still
a big
covers Guard
tornado.
Charm.
That's
Yeah,
really
it's a good
good.
Tornadoes.
And you could probably just click Defog here, or I guess you could click Hurricane. I probably wouldn't. Just Defog. Yeah.
Yeah, Defog is fair because you can get your own rocks up then later, and then those are gonna stay up. Well,
But also,
yeah, you're playing
Heatran's
without them on
also-
your...
So if Heatran ever comes in next, it's gonna get a kill now.
Yep, it's true. And now we're back to the situation previously, except no rocks, which is probably advantageous for One Last Kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could, I mean, they could both get up rocks, but Toxic also makes a whole lot of sense. Because, like, One Last Kiss going Heatran on his future side is, yeah, not a good play. Yeah, this makes sense. Is he gonna Toxic?
Yeah,
there it
but
is.
you could just switch out and heal that off, kinda.
Yeah,
And yep,
there comes Heatran, yeah. Oh, no,
that's
nice
a really
low
good
throw,
throw, but
Yeah,
it's still like kind of cornered.
yeah. Oh, it could be big if he burns. Nope. Okay. So yeah, going through similar cycles now. So another future board, as they call it, and guard jump again, probably looking to get up rocks. Though we could get punished by a toxic.
Yep, and I just want to remind people as we're watching this
Ooh.
slightly drawn out game. Oh, unfortunate miss, but we are
Yeah,
we are
big
raising
miss.
money for Doctors Without Borders to honor the Venezuelan community after we lost one of Smogon's beloved players, Fakee, unfortunately. So, if you guys even have a couple ballers, we'd love it if you could contribute to the cause. In the bottom right corner of the Twitch screen, you could see that again for Doctors Without Borders. And just want to say thank you all for watching alongside us today, as that toxic miss is really unfortunate for Maxis.
Yeah, for sure. Ooh. Pops for rocks now, but one last kiss makes a pretty ballsy play. It just stays with card jump to get more chip with Earthquake.
I feel like we're kind of just speeding up the inevitable here, though, because now that Toxic's on one, like, honestly, Maxis without Tornadoes has way less leveraging, too, so it's pretty hard for him to come back, I think.
Yeah, I agree. It's actually looking really good for one last kiss now. Again, Tornadoes is with knocked and toxic and rocks are up, so maybe Roller Boom can still do some stuff. From Maxis' end. But from both ends, really. Because one Tornadoes is just straight up gone, of course.
Yeah.
Notably, we still haven't really seen Magnezone do much.
Yeah, there's just not much of a reason for it, I think.
Yeah. Oh,
There's
nice sword dance there.
yeah, nice sword sense. Yeah, it's really looking really awkward for Maxis now.
We could see the Magnezone come in here now, and if it's faster, click Iron Defense before a Superpower or Drain Punch.
Perhaps. Oh, it goes
Just
Melmetal.
though. Superpower is gonna do a lot though.
Yeah. If he lives, does a double Iron Bash kill?
Yes.
Yeah, it should because of the defense drop.
Assuming it's -1. If it's Drain Punch, then he probably lives at like 20%.
Yeah.
You could also Sword Dance again here.
Ooh, that's a good point. We do see Drain Punch, and Melmetal lives. And Toxic, okay. Valid.
Yeah.
That's a nice Toxic, because I mean it wasn't risky as well, because if he superpowered, that would have just
Oh, Sword Dance is on the Protect. That's
Ooh.
huge.
We might see
Yeah.
knockoff here. Try and catching the Slowbro or something.
Yeah. I agree with knockoff.
But at +4 it probably kills.
Yep, +4 knockoff is just gonna force a kill here.
Hmm.
Well, it probably doesn't kill Magnezone, but... Yeah, really nice Sword Dance on a Protect. Yeah, there comes Magnezone on Drain Punch, okay. Oh, and it's Shovelberry, so it does live. That's another
wondering
Toxic
where he
turn
was
at
going
least.
matter
Matters
too
terribly
earlier.
much, though.
Another question is who's faster? Okay, so Rillaboom is faster and just takes it out with another Drain Punch. But the thing is, he's been in for a lot of turns now, so this Toxic is doing a lot with 25% now.
Yeah, and you could go to a Protect user here and make it take even more.
Yep. So yeah, Melmetal or Garchomp is probably coming in next. That's Garchomp, makes sense.
But we could see the Tornadus or even the Heatran now take rocks, but yeah, come in on this and just take over.
Yeah, the Rillaboom did make a lot of progress, doing half to Melmetal and taking out the Magnezone, so it's done its job.
I think One Last Kiss is going to do everything he can to keep Heatran close to full health, just so he doesn't have to risk a Magma Storm against the opposing Rillaboom.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, exactly as expected. Garchomp does protect, trying to stall out with Toxic, but he just goes Tornadus. Moves rocks. He takes his opportunity to go Slowbro again. Because there's, yeah, just nothing else really that deals with Tornadus. Question is, do you feature side or you teleport? Going to Garchomp on the future side. Looking to get up rocks again. Or, ooh, goes for a Earthquake, gets some chip on Slowbro, it also works. Garchomp, either yeah, rock or toxic, so those rocks on another stay, another very nice stay from Last Kiss. And this Garchomp is hanging on for dear life.
Last Kiss just playing this game consistently very well.
Yeah, he did get a little bit lucky with the Toxic Touch before, because as you can see, this is the result. One Garchomp is basically gone, and the other is full, so...
Yep.
Yeah, and that go down. can make something happen now, but he does get toxic by the Garchomp, so this Real Boom is on a timer as well. And gets a Brox on another Swords Dance, and the thing is, he still has Protect to rack up more toxic damage. So very nice played by One Last Kiss there. Ooh, but just take this opportunity to go to +6. Very nice. Max damage Real Boom right there. It's gonna have to make the most out of these turns. Just goes for a Glide, takes out my Metal. Thing is, he could go back to Garchomp and use Protect again.
But even then, I mean,
Yeah.
I think there's enough turns, enough Pokemon where
Yeah, the Toxic is
once
just...
Toxic landed on turn 43, it was probably game.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, there's another Protect, more Toxic damage racking up.
Mm-hmm.
It's only gonna have like 2 turns left. Gets a kill on Toxapex, but now it's dead unfortunately, because Protect will stall it out. Or yeah, because Rain's gone, you can also just U-turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even if, you know, let's say you did have to fight a next Pokemon or two, once terrain runs out, it's kind of over anyway.
Yeah, and now you get presumably Eruption because you don't really want to miss Magma Storm.
Yeah, and you've got enough PP left where it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
And even then, Double Iron Bash
Slowbro
is
is
the
too
only thing
low.
you can touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just over. Well, yeah, it's just over. Even if this,
Yeah.
this E-turns, even if the E-turn got scalded, the Real Boom is just, way too low, so yeah. That's GG. Nicely played by One Last Kiss. Some fortune, of course, with dodging the Toxic with Garchomp, but he really took all the advantage out of that he could, so nicely played.
Yep.
There's a few games still ongoing. Do we want to jump into one of those?
What do we got?
Oh, they're almost over. Hold on.
Uh,
Yeah, these are all over. We can wait for the next round.
One Last Kiss should be playing Shiridu soon.
Oh, that's nice, because you see the winners from the previous games playing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that we've seen some classic, just good old Sword and Shield games. We've seen like the last game was more long-winded, like Future Port, Stealth Rock, Toxic, Nog game. But we also saw a lot of games that were a lot more offensive, like with multiple Galarian Moltres.
Yeah, we've seen, you know, the uptick in terrain, be it Tapu Lele with its whole host of sets, and, you know, Finny being kind of the anti-Blaziken, anti-status type of offensive glue. And then we've also seen kind of the classic, the status quo, I'm going to run the utility Landorus, the Nocturnatus, slowly grind through, you know, pick my spots and be methodical like that last couple of games. So it's good that we kind of saw the full spectrum of SSOU as other games are starting.
I don't know if it's for the...
That might be World Cup.
I think
Don't know
Ultra
for the
Lycan
tour, but
versus
One Trick
Kaishi
Lycan and Kaishi are playing. Oh, wait, no, it's not, because Kaishi was eliminated, but...
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
it's
World
World
Cup.
Cup. Yeah.
Funny, all of a sudden we have this tour and all the SS players come out to play other tours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody
It's
wants to play
infectious.
SSOU for...
Yeah, there you
whatever
go.
reason.
Understandably so.
Well, the one game that's not like nearing its end is Comp versus Zagubu Real, but I'm afraid that one's gonna not too many excitement there. It's a Pilky team versus Stall, so
Yeah, that's a long game. Ruft, by the way, if you get a second, if you could just check Discord. But in the meantime, we could probably look at the end of the stall game if we want, and then just be willing to pivot as soon as another option pops up. Maybe that's the middle ground there.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, are they just switch? They're just switching, aren't they?
It's like switch stall right now, right?
Yeah, no, okay, we can't even do that.
I mean, it's fine. That's a big crit earthquake that just happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's gonna matter because it's got Regenerator.
That's true. That's true.
And he didn't toxic the Quag, and even if he did toxic, there's 7 healed LPP left. I don't see a world where this game ends. This might go 1,000.
No, the Quag is Tox now.
Well, yeah, but
7
he's got
heal
Bell.
bells. Yeah.
If that burnt, it would have been huge. I'm surprised Comp risked that, but if you look at the full Pokemon list here, the Garchomp is the Stealth Rock setter, but the Garchomp is burnt, and it only has 9 Protect left. So I have a feeling Zagubu Royale will win eventually. It's just like, are we ever going to get to that point?
Probably not. Is this for this tournament?
I think
The Fakee thing? Oh no. Poor Fairy is going to have to deal with that.
Yeah, no, it's always 1 or 2 games in an SS tour. It does at least look like it is a round 4 game based on what I'm seeing here. So, like, it's only holding up the tour as of right now. It hasn't been for a round or 2.
Very good.
For those curious about the whole outlook of the tournament, by the way, we have 24 people left. I believe the next round it starts becoming best of 3, so we'll be able to follow entire series. We'll hopefully also have less of this. But yes, just to go over some, I guess, some vague trends that we've seen. We're seeing a lot of Regenerator, because it's SSOU, of course. We're seeing a lot of Hyper Offense, which is always fun. And a lot of these kind of Tornadus mid-range teams which have a chance of beating anything. Finally, Saved by the Bell, round 5 is up. Just to go over the matchups with you guys, we got Sky EU versus Pro ZZ, Moon of Seoul versus Z Ryan, 4 Tup versus Slip, the winner of the game currently on your screen versus Just Franco, Agents versus LB, our longest banana, and TGA versus the winner of the One Last Kiss game that we just saw that One Last Kiss ultimately won. So we should be seeing those best of 3 series starting momentarily. As soon as one of those games starts, and it looks like Z Ryan is calling for Moon of Soul to challenge, so hopefully that'll be soon. We could take this godforsaken stall off your screen. So, and thank you so much to all 40 of you that are hanging with us, raising money for Doctors Without Borders. It's really awesome that we've already surpassed $200. Yeah, just waiting it out here. Oh, actually, it looks like the One Last Kiss game was for the round before, so they're a round behind everyone else. So never mind that. But also, the Z Ryan versus Andre Mostovoy series to start if we want to pop into that. Andre on the forums is Moon of Soul.
Sure.
Oh, we got a Dragonite in the One Last Kiss game.
Oh, that's cool too. Yeah. Actually, a pretty known team from One Last Kiss in that game, and I know the team Z Ryan is using too. Not
That's a very
sample
common
teams,
stick,
but
yeah.
like structures that we've seen before.
Yeah, they're both definitely some of the more common.
Good old
Sword
Buzzwolf
Shield
fan.
games.
Yep. Hawlucha actually is a pretty good matchup into Sand, especially with Slowking over Slowbro, and that's largely because +2 acrobatics kind of goes to town. It abuses Buzzwole, of course, and then close combat picks into everything acrobatics doesn't pick into. But the good news for Z Ryan here is that actually there's really not much good. I was gonna say there's Excadrill in the offense, but there's a Rotom W there. So yeah, there's not really much good news.
Well, the good news is he at least has Buzzwole for Kartana.
Yeah, he's got Buzzwole for
That's about it.
Kartana. That's just funny.
That's
The good news
something.
The good news is it's a best of 3. That's the good news.
Oh, true, true.
Yeah, that's fun.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you can make some heat plays and out position. Andre, we'll see.
We shall see.
Tornadoes versus Rotom, usually you just see the Tornadoes knocking the Rotom or Toxicking, sure, if you have it. That's even better. Yeah, Heatran comes in with Volt Switch, and Tornadoes can be forced out into either Slowking or Tyranitar. Most likely, or Heatran if you like really want to make some crazy plays, but presumably there's just rocks coming up, so. Yep. And he's probably, well, I'm not sure if it's rocks. Maybe Choice Band, yeah. It is Choice Band Tyranitar. Ooh, Lava Plume, fishing for a burn, but does not get it.
Mm-hmm.
Now Obstacle Landers on his next Stone Edge. Does connect, does a whole lot of damage. If the Landers is like super slow, then Tyranitar actually outspeeds it, but yeah, it's something you don't really want to risk. So yeah, it makes a safe play to go into Tornadoes on Toxic.
Yep. That's
pretty good
there.
Toxic.
Could get the defog off. Nice that you got some chip on the Landorus, but it still looks pretty hard for Zirion to really like force a ton of progress beyond what he's done on this Landorus, if that makes sense. So I guess Lily could be scouted out by the Slowking here. The main issue would be a double switch to like a Rotom or Kartana to kind of flip the tempo. We do see Cart there on the Slowking. I wonder if now he predicts the Buzzwole and goes to, I guess, to Heatran if it's fast, and then I don't know. It feels like he's just gotta kind of bite the bullet at some point. Maybe just go for knockoff here to get the helmet off. But basically, for Zirion, he's got to try and find a way to force progress as well because he's a step behind. So yeah.
Or if you have like somewhere to go and you want to end the game quickly, you could just also double to Howlucha. But that's a bit more risky, I suppose. It's something you want to keep for the end game for sure.
Yeah, so there is more damage on the Landers, which is good, and it can't really do much here besides Toxic. It's a smart U-turn in that turn, though. That allows for maybe the Lele or the Heatran or the Rotom to come back in and start the cycle over again.
Just got an $85 donation from Talk Ate. I'm very sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but thank you very much for the $85 donation.
Oh, that's
85
amazing.
is a lot, yeah. Huge.
That's
Thank
a
you.
ton of money. That's our biggest donation of the day now. We're up to $300. Thank you so much to Takade as well as everyone else. You are the GOAT, and that's amazing. So we've now raised $300 for a great cause. And, obviously, it's unfortunate that we are here today because it's the result of one of our beloved community members passing. But the least we could do is honor them, with their favorite tier and a format, a donation to, a cause that helps their community. So it's awesome, makes us feel like as a community we're doing what we can at the end of the day. As we do see the first Pokemon faint in this battle, the Landorus dies to a Hurricane. This Heatran is Heavy Slam, which isn't super helpful here as there's no Clefable or Lele.
Yeah, but despite what we said earlier about the matchup being in Andre's favor for sure, Zirion has done pretty well to make some progress in this early game and to keep his mons alive. But yeah, the issue is that the Howlucha is just really, really difficult to deal with.
You're gonna have to I'm not sure what you're gonna have out when it comes in. That's possible. That's the issue. You really just can't let the Lele die against the wrong. I feel like Zirion is getting every move right, but at the same time, it doesn't necessarily matter.
Yeah. The ultimate question is just how do I deal with this Howlucha? Well, Future Sight is one way, I suppose, if you can... yeah, if you can keep it up, then as long as it's up, he's never going to be able to go Lucha. So.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you have a healthy Slowking, maybe you can get a future sight even when the Lucha is already in. So.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can also have substitute. Ooh, big flame body there.
So it being Flame Body actually could have been an out against Acrobatics Halucha. Although
Yeah,
it's,
also true.
It's gone now.
Yeah, a little too late because yeah, it would have been good to bait some acrobatics and then getting the burn there. But honestly, we also have to say a good Sacred Sword from Andre. Yeah, did get punished with Flame Body.
Nice 4% knockoff.
Yeah, poor, huge.
I will say Z-Ryan is starting to have a Pokemon advantage that could maybe let him like not get a setup turn and win with Tornadus, but I don't know.
Yeah. So just trying to sack Buzzwole, it seems, which makes sense. It's not useful anymore.
But also, this being Thunder Punch means that the Halucha couldn't really set up on it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I don't know because like,
You
have to go Lele now, but I guess you have the Rotom fodder. I don't know. I think this is very winnable all of a sudden. Because you just Future Sight here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't love the teleport.
Yeah, Future Sight I think was also better because, yeah, you basically force progress and you block the Holy Chef from coming in, so... But it does get a spin, I guess? Yeah, it's still slower than a Lucha. Hmm. It should be slower at least, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ironhead, but it's gonna do a lot, but Halucha, yeah, it can kill everything now. So I guess you just have to do it with sand damage now when making like some god switches. Maybe.
Yeah, and this is kind of what we were trying to avoid before.
Yeah.
This could live.
Does this live?
Oh,
it
wow.
lives, okay.
Wait.
Wait, Future Sight.
Future Sight, that may have been a little bit of a throw.
No, because
Yeah.
you Scald didn't kill.
Oh, didn't?
Did not?
No, he must have, because the special defense boost from Psychic Berry, he must have some HP, because you only really need to outrun Exeter with Halucha, so he must have calculated that out. So here's the thing
That's
now.
fair.
You don't really beat Lele, so I'm wondering if after the Future Sight it made more sense to fodder the Tyranitar or go to Tornadus.
I suppose we will find out.
Yeah, because if the Slowking was Slack Off, which I assume it is, then at 43% it lives anything from Scarf Lele. So I think he might have made a mistake there on turn 32 letting it go.
Yeah.
But he might win anyway if it's not Focus Blast. Or if he gets this 50-50 right. Let's see here.
If he subs, he also wins. Yeah, he does sub to take the Future Sight. Wow.
Yeah. So
But the sand will kill it eventually, but... Oh, great Ghost Comet, wow.
great game. That was
Wow,
awesome.
great game, yeah, great end game.
I feel like Z Ryan played like a 90% like flawless game, and it just to end it. Halucha was just too much.
Yeah, Andre did clutch the end with the Halucha, which obviously had a great matchup as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, really great game, honestly. Well played from both sides, honestly. So yeah, nice game.
All right, what are we feeling for the next one? There's Longest Banana versus Agents. There's Skyu versus Pros. What are you feeling?
Oh, Longest Banana is using the same team with Manibus replacement. Yeah, there's not much else, I'm afraid, because there's a stall game, there's a World Cup game, and then
The One Last
Green
Kiss
Game's
versus
endless.
Shiridu game is still in kind of in the beginning. Let's run through that.
Sure.
Yeah, we also see an interesting Zagubu set. Yeah, let's not spoil. I actually recognize this Shiridu team now. I'm pretty sure it's a beta team from a while back. yeah, one less Kisses team is also a very common 6, so yeah. So that's another pretty classic situation where Landers is spamming Earthquake on a Clefable, but it does incrementally heal if it doesn't get crit.
Yeah.
Firethorn in, knocks the Slow King. Okay, good progress.
Yep.
Oh, nice Landers on the Victini.
That's a good play, yeah. Kind of getting ahead. And that's kind of the same thing we saw before from him, where he's making those kind of, I don't want to say middle grounds, but those aggressive reads, if you will.
Yeah. Great, like a really big knockoff crit, because his Ferrothorn is very low now, so... And that opens up, yeah, a lot of Shiridu's team.
Mm-hmm.
Another stay on a Bolt Strike, as we've seen him do before.
No,
With
I've
yeah,
seen
the
this
exact
mode
same team
before.
against Victini again. Yeah, this is like a deja vu
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, great plays from Shiridu so far. Gets to take out the Ferrothorn, or he actually goes Tapu Koko. Ooh, takes a lot though. Okay, Platinum Mirror. Gets rid of the spikes, but he takes a Toxic. Which is actually pretty big for Tapu Koko, because the Slowking also lost its Assault Vest, so there's some openings there.
And we're
It's
kind
stay
of
from
seeing him.
the Clefable on Scizor. Ooh, Trick.
Oh, yep. And that
Oh, it's the Barb on Slowking, nice.
that kind of caught everything, so that made sense why he stayed in there.
Yeah.
The future set probably just means he's going to let go of the Ferrothorn, if I had to guess. Oh, or not.
Honestly, the Coco actually looks good, because the Landers is Toxic and the Slowking is Barbed, so they can do some incremental progress.
Yeah, and it roosts off the Zapdos too.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's interesting how the Zapdos has substitute but no pressure. Like, I guess it's possible with both pressure and static. They both make sense.
So like, while it's great, like I feel like you didn't need to fodder off the Ferrothorn there at all. That didn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, because Coco normally beats this. Ooh, I don't know if that was.
Yeah, I don't really
necessary
understand
to
this
Coco.
sequence at all.
Yeah,
I don't really get that. I think the game's just over now, though.
yeah, 3 mons down because I mean Shiridu makes some really great plays to get here, so respect
Yeah, of course.
to him. Ooh, and a great Axel as well. Wow, you're just outplaying everyone, honestly. Good to see. Now we can just afford to finally go Tox Specs on Bolt Strike. Dragonite is a mon you always have to be wary of in an end game, but yeah, you can just have Weavile in versus it, so... I don't know if Knock was the best there, though. I guess you don't wanna... I feel like just locking into Axel was honestly fine, but...
Ooh.
I guess you have Bullet Punch and Ice Shard, though, to basically guarantee kill this. Yeah,
I'll say
'cause
you'll
it's
get
never,
the multi
it's
kill
never
one way
extreme
or
speed in
another.
this tier, so yeah. Bullet Punch plus Ice Shard should do it. Unless you somehow do see another Gen 9 influence and I see extreme speed from Dragonite. But yeah, I really doubt it. Yeah. I guess a freeze was one way to actually yeah, get out of that
Yeah, I
situation.
suppose he just didn't
Because
really
now
have a
it's-
move that would hit the Scizor.
Yeah, if he did freeze the Scizor, then he could have roosted, and then he would have been out of Ice Shard range. So it made sense, but yeah, didn't get it. And the win goes to Shiridu. Nicely played.
Definitely. That was a good game, and now we're getting into. I believe that was one of the last games of the rounds before the best of threes.
Yeah, best 3 between Slip and Forup did just start. So if we want to tune into that.
All right, what game are we feeling next?
Slip and Forup did just start their best of 3, so we
Yeah,
can
that's a good one to hop into.
You said
Also,
Slip and Forup?
huge thank you to Saggy Solar for a $200 donation. Wow.
Oh wow, 200. Huge. Thank you so much.
You said
$200
Slip and
donation. Wow,
Forup,
thank you
right?
so much, Sagastola.
This one?
$200 will go a long way, and like to this charity, Doctors Without Borders. That's gonna mean a
Yeah.
lot. So thank you again.
And that's so generous. I mean, it goes without saying that any money is good money, be it $2 or $5, but $200 is so generous. You
Yeah,
know,
it's huge.
we understand how sensitive a topic like money is. So being able to have an individual donate $200, that means the world to us. And reaching $500 as a collective means the world to the community. Being able to honor Fakee, who was a great SSOU player, a great community member, just a really fun-loving guy. And while we're watching individual games of Pokemon, it's a fun game, it's a hobby for us, but being able to do something bigger with that hobby, I think we could all agree is so amazing as a community.
Yeah, very well put. I agree.
So thank you so much to Saggy Solar, as well as Tallcoat and everyone else who donated today. But these last 2 donations pushed us all the way to $500. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you. So we do have a game with Mandibus here instead of its other Dark Flying cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, this Melmetal looks very threatening here with Superpower, because Superpower covers both the Cortana and the Heatran, and nothing else really wants to come in on it, so... Yeah, he did make a nice play going into Ladders on a Superpower. And now you turning into Cortana. Very nice from Forup. Also funny that you see all three viable, well, I guess very viable Tapus in one game with
Yeah, that is
Lily,
fun. We got
Finny,
the
and
whole gang.
Gogo. Yeah, I was gonna say viable, but I guess Dulo is somewhat viable, but it's just, yeah, it just can't really compete with Rillaboom in this gen. Oh, great Focus Blast, wow. On a Coco, like first is Gogo clicking Focus Blast, and then connecting with the Heatran, taking it out, that's very ballsy, and it's rewarded, which is nice. Ooh, a crit from the Cortana though. The Smell Metal has seen better days now. Ooh, any double Iron Bash. Not expecting a Cortana to stay in, but it did stay in. And these Choice Band boosted knockoffs are hurting everything now. At least I think it's Choice Band. Yeah. So Moonblast also hits everything, but the question is, does Slowking eat another one or not? Because the previous one at 21 and 22, and now it's at 22.
Yeah, so it's definitely a roll, and honestly, that roll could play a large part in determining this next sequence.
Yeah, it's actually really big. Because nothing wants to take a Moonblast. Coco is taking about half from this, I believe. Yeah. Elemental comes in, gets sec to the future side, that makes sense. And now there's no other Psychic Resist left, so it makes sense for Forup to get these future sites up and just, yeah, force progress. But Lele is also coming in to click Moonblast again, so very exciting endgame here. It does force a KO on Slowking now, so now it just comes out down to, yeah, who gets to use their tools to their best of their ability and end the game quicker, so...
Yeah, but Coco should come in here to revenge kill this pretty comfortably.
Yeah. Yeah, and Slip doesn't really have anything to deal with the Coco anymore. He does have Dragon Bolt, which outspeeds it at least.
Depending on the nature.
True. Could be modest. Yeah, the Lapalele did get sacked to the Coco because, yeah, not many options there. You could have went hard Dragapult, but that's also a chip you really want to avoid here because you do want to be able to take a Gleam at least later. Or here. It is faster with the U-turns because it actually doesn't want to take the Gleam. Visible Cephalon. The question is it Scarf or Specs? Or anything else? But if it's not Scarf, then I think Thunderbolt KOs, so very tough position for Slip right now.
Yeah.
But if it is Scarf, there is no fire resist, so but it's Overeat, which means it should be Specs. I think
we just saw an entire generation of Kartana get evaporated.
Yeah, for sure. Overeat from Specs plus Cephalon is already a nuke. Like it can KO Landers from full, I'm pretty sure. Like depending
Just
on
total
investment.
overkill.
But yeah, Kartana, that just got blown away.
Landers probably just looks Earthquake here, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty free. It's everything. He
Wow,
comes in to
that's
take it.
actually
Oh, U-turns. Wow.
a really great U-turn too, because now you get this back in and you reset the whole game.
Yep. Oh, you're gonna see a Thunderbolt on Dragonbolt, but this is also gonna die to Gleam if you do up to stay into Shadow Ball this. So
Yeah, but that Thunderbolt put it into Gleam range because Gleam didn't
Yeah.
always kill. from
yeah,
full.
exactly.
So that was a pretty drawback-free move there. The issue with
Yep.
Shadow Ball here from Slip is the Mandibuzz is at 87%. But if you click Draco on the Coco staying in, then it's just bad news, of course. So
Yeah. You kinda had the Shadow Ball because of the Coco. Like if he Draco'd and it got Gleamed, then yeah, it was just
the
over.
crit
But
might
yeah.
force a Roost for later. So that's kind of a saving grace there. But he might just U-turn anyway. And we see the Roost.
Okay.
But in theory, the Coco could just come in here anyway. Or the Landorus and slow pivot, yeah.
Yeah. Works either way. And it's looking like this might just not have Skull anyway.
Yeah, now you just U-turn, and I don't think Gleam
Yeah.
kills this. You probably have to Thunderbolt again.
Yep.
Honestly, I might have Gleamed because the Finny can't kill you, but if it Moonblasts and gets a drop, then it actually gets annoying.
Ooh.
Oh, and after all, wait,
Oh, he Thunderbolted.
What?
Oh, but it gets a para. Wow. Why did he Thunderbolt? I'm not sure.
huge para.
The para,
I'm
yeah.
not sure it mattered honestly because there was still the Mandibuzz, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
doubt it, but
that was like the
Unfortunate
one
for
way
Slip.
to lose if all went wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was weird.
very
Now,
unfortunate for
wait
Slip,
a-
but yeah.
Wait a minute here. I don't even think crit at +1 can kill. You U-turns anyway. Yeah, that was a good U-turn.
And now the game should be
Yeah.
over. Well, maybe if it like, nah, it just dies to Thunderbolt, right? Oh, it is Scarf. Wow.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. That U-turn actually mattered. Like, it actually
Yeah.
was different than we read it initially.
Yeah.
I think clicking Flamethrower at the end made more sense because if -1
Yeah,
overhit
I'm
is
wondering.
39, then would a +1 flame crit kill or a burn means you live? So I think that was messed up at the end.
Wondering if it like doesn't have flamethrower, but that seems like really bad. Scarf will
No, even if it's Fire Blast, a +1 Fire Blast crit always kills with -1 overheat is 39, and you have the chance to burn, which is better than the chance of overheat critting and hitting twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was just going for crit, but yeah. The alternative was better. Yeah, nice game. Well played
I
by
think,
both sides, but Forup especially.
I think the comp Zagubu Royale game got tied.
Okay, yeah.
So they're playing another one.
Yeah. They
Oh yeah,
are.
it's a new game.
And Slip Fortup just started their second game.
Let's hop into that. Stay. Stick
There's
with
Rain
them.
with Heliolisk.
A nice matchup there. Rain versus yeah, the third offense, I think it is. Yeah, offense versus offense, very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Should be lead Mew, so we're probably gonna see that versus Pelipper. Heliolisk is definitely interesting. Don't see that often. Oh, we actually just don't see either of the ones I just said. We see Fairthorn lead versus Coco. So Coco because he expected Pelipper, but Fairthorn is nice anti-lead. He goes Mew now.
Up pretty immediately.
Yeah, and Fortup's gonna do the same, I believe. Yep. So yeah, now we have Mew versus Pelipper.
Yep.
U-turn versus Cuda, probably. I guess it depends. Like Seismid out, if it has, I know, like it usually doesn't have Ice Punch, but if it is Ice Punch, which it sometimes does, then it could really just open up, like sweep the entire team essentially. But it does go Barracuda, which is only checked by Dragonite. It's just gonna fodder the Mew and then go into it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's really nothing you could do besides fodder something there.
Yeah. We did this job anyway. Got rocks and spikes up. Can't expect much more from Suicide Lead Mew. I think he has to go Dragonite because everything else just dies to liquidation, I think. Yep. Oh, and it took rocks damage. But yeah, this Barracuda is just a gigantic threat.
Pretty nice Leech Seed there.
Normal gem is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, normal gem E-speed. But unfortunately, still only at 11% to the Ferrothorn. Boom, Blacephalon also almost dying in one turn.
Yeah, I think this game is just over because it resets Rain
Yeah.
again, and yeah.
Yeah, just Rain is just extremely hard to deal with for Dub's team.
Even Scarf Seismitoad in Rain kind of wins now too.
Yeah, no, it's like outspeeds everything in rain easily. So looking quite over. Yeah, he does have to get rain up this next turn again.
He could honestly just stay in with Scarf Seismitoad and just spam Surf.
Yeah, I guess he can, because the Dragonite is chipped very low at this point with the rocks.
The
Honestly-
Celesteela would need like +4 and to stay out of Aqua Jet range. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's
I actually
possible.
think like the very few first turns, like Slip leading Ferrothorn into not Mew, like decided like pretty much the whole game because those rocks are so valuable.
Yep, and it wasn't even boots on anything, so.
Yeah, exactly. Those rocks hit Dragonite, the Bucephalon, probably Weavile as well for super effective damage on all of them. It just makes Barraskewda and Seismitoad kill everything. Oh, I see Heliolisk coming in on Celesteela.
So that probably just dies to Meteor Beam. So I wonder if he goes
Yeah, I
Pelipper
think so
on
too.
the Meteor Beam. Now you could automize on. Okay, never mind.
No, Heliolisk, no.
Can't you automize
Whose number do
here?
you need?
And are you faster at +4?
Ooh, that's actually a good point.
Because this is why I was thinking on turn 10 or 11, you should always go Pelipper, and then you could threaten him to force a kill, or you get. It doesn't. It doesn't.
But
matter.
it doesn't go for it.
Because
yeah,
in
doesn't
theory,
go for it,
if
the
you
Barraskewda's
don't
fast.
go hard Pelipper, and Pelipper, Pelipper could have scalded it and put it in Aqua Jet
Yeah.
range, but
I think at +4 the Celesteela is still slower, honestly, than
yeah, if the
Barraskewda in
+4
range.
is still slower, then it's moot. I don't know the math on it.
Yeah. I think it is, because that's also why I didn't go for it, I imagine.
And
Yeah,
then the
I'm not entirely
Ferrothorn just
sure.
wins here. So yeah. Like it'd have to be like the weirdest Coco set of all time because the game's pretty much over.
What is CM?
Yeah, but even then, with
Yeah,
Leech
yeah,
Seed,
it's still like dying to Barraskewda in the worst case anyway, so yeah.
that's funny.
Crass not, yeah, I
But
mean, yeah.
8 million damage in residuals before dying.
Yeah, this Coco decided, I'm not gonna get KO'd by you, I'm gonna KO myself with his Crass not.
I think the MVP is Rocky Helmet.
Yeah, this Ferrothorn is honestly like...
Ferrothorn
big
did like
loss in this
400%
game. Wow.
residuals. This year. That's funny.
Yeah, the Stealth Rock did like half the damage, and then the Rocky Helmet killed everything else. There you go.
Very exciting going to game 3.
Yeah, it's nice that Slip got this game up on Forup up after the previous one. It's gonna be exciting to see who wins the best of 3 in the end. I'm also excited to see what they're gonna bring, because it looks like they're not afraid to bring some heat in this tournament. They really show there is, in fact, creativity in Gen AW as well. A lot of room for it, in fact.
And the game just went up.
There you go. Oh, and nice teams again.
Oh god. Another Zeraora. We got Cloyster.
And two Moltres Galar, wow.
Been a very popular mon this tour, for sure.
Definitely.
Yep.
Cloyster actually looks kind of nice because there's literally no ice resist on Slipstein. Though there is a Buzzwole, which is obviously very bulky on the physical side, so...
But Cloyster could run Hydro Pump as the fourth
That is
move,
true.
which hits not only Buzzwole but also the Melmetal of the world. And we also sometimes see Pin Missile over Rock Blast or Hydro Pump just hit like Slowbro, Slow King type of Pokemon. You know, there's some range. Of course, Ice Shard is also possible too, so we'll wait and see.
I even seen like Explosion Cloyster as well, that's also funny. Lands Hypnosis on Clefable, that's big. This makes his Moltres really deadly if the Clefable remains slept. Ooh, and Safeguard as well.
Is Safeguard affected by No, it is not. Never mind. I just saw the tooltip. So I did not know how that interaction worked.
Art Flare, but it's expecting the Fairthorn to stay in, I suppose.
Yeah.
So close combat
is a little lower than you'd like.
Okay, sure. The Fable was gonna be fodder to force some damage with the Flare Blitz recoil, but he just goes Moltres, and yeah. Going Moltres on Castro was fine anyway, because you are immune to Toxic thanks to the Safeguard, which is real nice.
This is very dangerous.
Oh, the Safeguard runs out now, at least. Yeah, he does connect the Hurricane to take it out.
So, what do you do here as Slip?
Yeah, that's a good question, because the Clefable is sleeping. Yeah,
cry
it's
and
not
go
looking
home,
good.
probably.
I'm not sure this is what I would have done, but I don't think there is a right answer. So I don't.
Yeah, there's
blame
not many options anyway, right? I guess Boswell and try to dodge Hurricane, but
that gyro
not
ball
looking
is
good.
smart because you could kill with a roll.
49.
No.
Oh, just misses the
Not.
kill.
Yeah, and there's no priority on his team, unfortunately. So it looks like this is just gonna win the game, I think. Unless the Dragon Ball does Sucker Punch, I guess, but it's really extremely rare, so. And I doubt Boswell even lives Fiery Wrath. Oh, I guess it did, because he went for Hurricane and he hit it, so. Oh, but it does,
Oh, you're telling me there's a chance.
yeah, there is a chance. Then again, he just gets fail up, and yeah. I doubt his Moltres is gonna be able to do it. You can also just go Zero Aura. Just go to Ninetales. Oh, we're gonna fail up first. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Cloister also just wins now, so.
Yep. To me, this reads as a white flag. Game is over. Series is over as well. Knockoff school.
Yeah, he did have knockoff for Dragon Bolt, so.
So, yeah, I mean, this is just a really good matchup overall, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. And Thunder Punch. Wow, what kind of set is this? There's no
It's Blaziken that needs
no
plus
close
6 to kill
combat.
Tyranitar.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No close
It's kind of
combat is
crazy
definitely
that's paired with Moltres Galar because you normally want to pair things that beat Tyranitar.
Yeah, true.
Especially on a Veil team.
I guess the Zero Aura is pretty good, and Garchomp is both pretty good against Sun, so.
I don't know. It's like if you've run into Buzzwell Sand. I mean, I guess Cloister with Hydro
true.
Pump. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's a bit fishy, but it worked out for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah, well done by Forup. He's advancing.
And thankfully, at long last, Zagubu Royale defeated Comp in game 2 of their best of 1.
There you go.
After
This is
they
like,
had to draw.
This is some kind of metaphor for how some people see the metagame, maybe. Some incremental progress is being made. As you can see, it can also be very high-paced, so... Yeah, we just have to wait for some more games to happen now. Hope Forup is gonna bring some more exciting
More
teams
heat.
like he has been bringing now.
Are there any ongoing games?
Nope.
Not a single one.
Nope.
Love when that happens.
Just Franco and Zagubu Royale should start soon, but
After we've seen like a lot of different styles of teams, like we just saw Fail, we just saw Rain as well, we've seen some Sand, we've seen some balance, bulky balance, some more bulky offense.
and Franco
some
Zagubu
stall
just
as well.
started.
So we've
A
basically
very,
seen,
very
every style
blue
across the spectrum.
game.
Oh yeah.
Almost a mirror match here, actually.
Yeah, Franco brought the like very standard like Ox, like it's called no bad matchups team. So
Well,
it's a very
it does have some, but yeah.
yeah, it's called that way, but it's not necessarily correct. As we see, it's not great into Magnezone, which we do see there. So yeah, I think this game is gonna come down to because the teams are so similar, who plays best is probably just gonna win. So very exciting. The Magnezone can trap the Core of Knight, and Bar Chop is really good. And if he can trap Melmetal, that opens up Feeny as well. Though there is still Slowking as well, of course. They're both thinking about how should I lead this. I think every lead can be punished in some way. See Urshifu lead for Score of Knight. So Urshifu is gonna want to switch out for sure. Or not. Just Surging Strike for some chip. A Score of Knight might just U-turn. Yeah, okay, nice play by Franco. I'm wondering if the Urshifu is... because it's often Scarf on his team, but it might also be Pats if Zagubu's Scarf could have been a helmet. But it could also just be leftovers, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much variation within this one team.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, ironically enough, does patch some matchups, but makes others harder, yada, yada, yada.
Mhm.
But
Nice Weavile on the Stealth Rock. Now he's probably gonna knock himself. Feeny, okay. Oh no, he actually excelled. Missed, unfortunately. Yeah, wouldn't have done too much either way. Oh, great Weavile from Zagubu this time. On the Slowking coming in on Feeny. And knocks the Core of Knight, which is Helmet.
Franco does have to play really carefully around the Magnezone here, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. There comes a Magnezone on U-turn, yeah.
Good
there you go.
U-turn.
Definitely. Probably gonna get a Zone Rocks now. Feeny coming in. There's basically two ways to respond to this. Like, you could do it with Slowking or Melmetal, but the thing is you gotta be careful about the... oh yeah, I forgot the terrain is gone, so you can actually Toxic. Wow. Yeah, good play. Okay, another great Weavile on Protect this time.
Yeah, no, a lot of aggressive plays from Zagubu after playing stall for about an hour and a half. It's pretty cool seeing both of his game modes, if you will.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, we're gonna see the metal here. Is that gonna be on an Axel?
Axel. A little bit also just be wary of Magnezone a little bit.
Yeah, but superpower here could come. Or I guess Earthquake.
Yeah, Magnezone can't really switch in on Metal Battle, but if it's pivoted in, that's an issue. Yeah, I'm guessing we will see like Superpower or Earthquake. So, Four of Knight's the most obvious switch in, which means you can do one like Thunder Punch or something like that if you have it. Or just, yeah, double switch, but... Like, you could Slowking, I guess. Oh, Magnezone? Let's see. Guard Magnezone is kinda... was risky, but the guard jump is nice there then. And I'll go Slowking, yeah. On Core of Knight, okay, nice. Franco really wants his Core of Knight to remain low. So it's good that he's doubling to Slowking to
Yeah, and getting those 12.5% every time because now, like for example, Weavile can kill it. You know, Garchomp baits it in every time, but yeah.
Yeah, and it is leftover Score of Knight, so it is only 6% unfortunately. And it also means it's I guess it was already pretty much revealed that was Scarf or Shifu.
Correct. And that's another thing, it not being Rocky Helmet helps that Scarf or Shifu a ton.
Yeah. So now we got a bit of a Slowking stalemate. Not going for some feature sides and some Scalds, but yeah. It's looking like Zagubu is gonna be the one to switch. They're gonna have to switch first, but he does have a feature side up, so. Oh, it's Earthquake. That actually makes sense to deal with Heatran more effectively than Scald, because Heatran is usually especially defensive. That's why they sometimes run Earthquake for it.
Yeah, and you could do like, 50-55%, and even if you don't, kill it in one, that's a lot of damage for something like Weavile later on.
So Metal comes in to take the future sight, yeah.
Yeah.
Core of Knight, is he making another double? Let's see. Oh, he just double. Oh, he just bashes, but if he's faster, which he should. Oh, the future side, yeah, it actually takes it out. Really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does get trapped, but honestly, you kinda take that, I think. Like, taking out Core of Knight's pretty big.
I did so little.
Yeah, 18, because of the Choppel and a +2 defense, yeah.
I would have considered going for another Iron Defense there to live Earthquake.
Yeah, good. Fair point.
Because if that did 18 there and it lost attack, even through Chopel, you do 36, you -1.
Yeah, it's still doing like very little, yeah. Like similar amount,
15.
I think. Next
Do you live +4? You might not anyway. You might die regardless.
Maybe if you go like +6, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure because then you're so low to where the +6 basically negates the super effectiveness. But if you're at 35%, it's hard to say.
Yeah. I guess you also had like Slowking to maybe deal with it instead. If he did go to like +6 defense. So yeah. Yeah, I think Franco actually did a great job dealing with the Core of Knight. That opens it up quite a bit for him.
Franco's been playing well. Zagubu did make some really good plays earlier in the game though.
Yeah. And the Core of Knight now is to fear the Magnezone, so the Core of Knight is also not gonna be too long, not gonna last too long in this game, I think.
Correct. Magnezone kind of flips the matchup a little bit. But both Weaviles are really the focal Pokemon here. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, it's flamethrower. Interesting. Because he could have just gone Magnezone as well.
I guess he was trying to catch the U-turn, but
Yeah, yeah, true. But yeah, let's if this Magnezone catches the Corv, we basically see all steals eliminated from this game, which means the Weavils are gonna both be instrumental in ending the game. But yeah, there's still no Shifu and the Tapu Fini, so not quite over even then. The thing is, Zagubu's Fini has to take on both Weavile and Urshifu, so that's gonna be an issue for him.
yes. But have we seen the Fini set yet? I forget.
We saw that use Nature's Madness. Oh
Poison.
yeah, but it got toxic. It got
Yeah.
toxic as well, so
That's
it's in a bit of
substantial.
trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Zagubu's really afraid now of this Weavile and Urshifu. The Weavile did take rocks damage, so does CB.
Yeah, it's definitely banned because it did 37 to a defensive Magnezone without an item.
Yeah, yeah.
A couple of arrows eaten already.
So there's
You
Fini.
can go Fini here, but Slow King comes in for free.
Yeah, and yeah, these Urshifu and Weavile are really enjoying watching this Fini take rocks and toxic damage, so. Zagubu's best progress maker might just be Garchomp and just clicking Earthquake.
Yes, I'd say so at this point.
You could double to Garchomp as Zagubu. Let's see if he does. Nah, I just Moonblasts. The safer play. At least you can get poisoned if you do go Garchomp on like a Sludge Bomb. But yeah, it's probably just future sighting with Weavile. Oh, nice. Again, the Weavile worked very well on his Garchomp. Yeah, there is still no Shifu that's healthy.
Yeah, but if it has to take a triple axle, it won't be as healthy anymore. Then something like Earthquake from Garchomp could threaten it, or pretty
Yeah.
much anything really.
Mm-hmm. Shifu on Axel, yes. Does he hit them all? He does. So yeah, it did take quite a bit. It looked like 40% from the Axel plus the rocks. Yeah, and the rough skin. And helmet, yeah. All of a sudden, this Weavile is looking very scary from Zagubu.
Yeah, definitely. I'm almost wondering if it could clean. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, it is Scarf or Shifu, and I do think even after rocks it takes Ice Shard, I imagine.
Yeah, so my question is there a world where it takes 2 more rounds of rocks, but then if you're Ice Shard, I don't
Ice
know.
Beam. Let me see, Ice Beam almost taking out the Garchomp.
Do we know what nature the Weavile are? I assume we don't with information we have.
If you open up a calc, you probably do, but I'm not sure.
I'm not sure I'm willing to commit to that right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. I mean, the players probably know, so.
Yeah, the players have the power right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it might just come down to Weavile versus Weavile.
Doesn't it always?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, because you need like +4 for Ice Shard to kill Franco's Weavile, and you're never getting +4, so.
Oh. Yeah, Fini is going down pretty much, which means Yeah, Franco's Weavile and Shifu are both looking very scary. Nice Weavile and Protect though.
Yeah. That Finny being poisoned honestly changed my outlook because I'd forgotten initially, and I was like, it could kind of 2-for-1. It really can't though. So
Yeah, it can because of it took the toxic earlier. Yeah. So this
so
is
that's
gonna
the
claim
first
something?
round of rock.
Yeah.
So after one more, I don't think it's in range always. I
doubt it as well. Because, like, Urshifu has... I think it has, like, 100 physical bulk or something. It's pretty crazy.
But here's my question: if you go Slow King and Fodder here, then go Finny, or vice versa, whatever it is, you force this out. Can you get a Swords Dance with Weavile ever? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think 72% probably puts it in Flamethrower range, and probably Choice Band Weavile can. I don't know. Yeah, I think that might be that, honestly.
Yep, and Finny is being sacked.
Yeah, it makes sense to go Slow King here, rather than risk your Weavile check.
Yeah. Oh, Urshifu is gonna have to take another round of rocks.
And I think you just spam Flamethrower until you die, and then you go to Weavile of your own. The question is, does Choice Band Triple Axle Weavile do 70%, 72% to opposing Weavile?
I think it does, but I'm not positive, but I think it does.
This could also come down to hitting or missing, I guess. Earthquake's, I guess, of note there. You could even just kill this. Well, because Future Sight's up, right? Yeah. But wait, Future Sight goes down here. Now you just go Shifu and win. Yeah. Now we win with Surging Strikes. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm guessing it doesn't die to Ice Shard, yeah.
Yeah, I would think it'd need to crit based on my mental calc. And
yeah, there you go. Only 10. Good game. Real well played from both sides, honestly. But Franco.
Yeah, that was a really tight game.
Especially.
I think Franco just made a couple fewer errors or maybe a couple fewer better reads, but that was a great game.
Yeah, really nice.
I don't know if we have any games ongoing because we're kind of between rounds because this one set.
Yeah, it looks like there's no games right now.
Yeah, and I actually have to go, so I think we're gonna cap it off there. But
cool with me.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks to everyone for donating. We hit $500. I'm sure
$500.
you guys can check. I'll link it in chat. You guys can check smogtours.psim.us to finish this off if you want to watch the end. But thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
$500. That's a huge contribution to Dugtrio Borders. I think Fakee also really would have loved the idea that we've done this, like playing his favorite tier and then raising money for a good cause that affects his country as well. So it's really great that we've been able to do this. And thank you guys so much for donating and playing.
Yep. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you,
Finch,
Finch, Ruft, and eeriespell for commentating as well. This has been Gold Mason and those three aforementioned commentators, and we will see you guys next time on another Smogon Game Day stream. And shout out to Fakee Cup.